All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they work in your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to ASAP in the morning. It is April 12th. I'm joined by Michael, Jay, and Ron. Michael, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, my man. I am doing good. How about y'all?
Good. Jay, how you feeling?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. You know, we got the play-in getting ready to start, so it's going to be a lot of fun tonight to watch basketball and see how they fare out in this play-in.
Yeah, and just remember, if I'm wrong, life is a simulation. Ron, you're giddy over there. I'm assuming you're feeling good?
ASAP.
Wait, you said I'm going to be wrong?
Yeah,
that's
you
just so
usually are.
Not that bad. You know what? All right, Ron. I never liked you anyway. Never liked you. We got some stuff to talk about today, so let's just dive right into it. Obviously, since he's gone, we have to talk about it. Frank Vogel has been fired. There's a long list to replace him. Many people believe that if Doc Rivers flusters out in the playoffs this year, that he will be fired and LA would be in contention for him. Also, Nick Nurse. A lot of people believe this is Mark Jackson's opportunity to get back into coaching. Whoever goes to the Lakers, you got your hands full. It doesn't matter what that roster is, just the pressure that comes with it. First of all, free Frank Vogel. I thought he was dealt a raw deal. I don't fully blame him because just a couple years ago, when you gave him the players, they were a top 2 defensive team and a top 5 rebounding team, which ironically is 2 of the main problems that people are now blaming Frank Vogel. But this reminds me of a lot of the situation with Coach David Fizdale in Memphis. When you take a guy Soldiers and you take all his guys, what do you expect from him? When you take away the players who provide the grit, who provide the energy, when you get rid of them, how can you expect your team to still be gritty?
I agree with that. I agree with that. I mean?
So, now Frank Vogel deserves some blame, but at the same time, to put all the blame on him, I disagree. But let me just get that out the way. We got Freddie, who is a Lakers fan. He said, we don't want Doc Rivers, which, the stock on Doc Rivers is
down. It's going into the toilet.
It's horrible. I mean, Ron, you a Sixers fan. Do you even want Doc?
No.
So it's like, and I love Doc Rivers. I really do. But, he's in a tough spot. Jay, let me start with you. Frank Vogel is, with him gone, who do you think would be a perfect candidate for this Lakers team? And do not say Kurt Rambis, because I will
No, I definitely think Doc Rivers is his stock is in the toilet. No, I really I've been advocating for Mark Jackson since last year when Houston was looking for a coach and Clippers were looking for a coach and so forth. And I said, man, why the hell is Mark Jackson not in these conversations and serious contention? Especially everybody knows that Steve Kerr inherited his team. So, come on, man. Why is Mark Jackson? And let me be honest with you. Frank Vogel is getting straight up railroaded, man. Listen, look, he did not construct that lineup, first of all. Okay, that was not his lineup that he constructed. He was given that. And then number 2, he's given injuries, and he couldn't really get the rotation down because of all the issues. So, man, Frank Vogel, I hope he lands somewhere. He deserves another shot at it because he definitely did not get a fair shake there in L.A. And let's be honest, he did get a championship with the original one, so he has the caliber of talent to do it. But yeah, man, Mark Jackson. If obviously if Frank Vogel can't be their coach, then I'm definitely all up on the Mark Jackson train, and I have been for about the last couple of years.
Interesting. Michael, do you agree? Nah, you going last, Ron. You pissed me off. You're going last.
Oh,
Michael,
me?
yeah, I'm being petty today. Michael, do you agree with Jay that
You know
the
something?
first
I
first
don't
thing
agree
you
with
should look
Jay
at is,
too often. You Pride, but on this occasion, I absolutely do. Let me tell you something real quick, fellas. You hire Frank Vogel, but you dictate who his assistants are. You dictate who his players are. And then you ask him to do the unthinkable. The fact that AD was hurt, I forgot, 37 games. LeBron was hurt like almost 30 games. They have a whole lot of one-year contracts, and you're having Frank Vogel asking him.
do you guys still hear
Something
me?
happened to his
How you
audio.
gonna? That's why
Oh.
Tyronn Lue didn't go there. 2 reasons. He wanted a 5-year contract, and he wanted to pick his own assistants. How you gonna hire somebody and tell them we're gonna pick your assistants? How you gonna do that? And now I got the solution, but we'll talk about that later. But go ahead, fellas.
Ron, I now will give you the floor. I will give you the floor, kind sir.
To say what?
Huh?
Joel Embiid's getting the MVP, won the championship.
Then you woke up.
Yeah, whatever.
yeah,
okay,
then
we
you
go.
woke
All
up.
right,
so
all right, we
with-
go there.
So, do you think Mark Jackson is the best fit? Are you looking at someone else? Because there's also rumors that Juwan Howard would be tempted to leave Michigan to go to LA.
No.
Same thing with if the Utah Jazz kind of don't rock with Quinn Snyder anymore. There's also kind of some thoughts that could happen. So, Ronald, I'm
At
giving
the
you the
end-
hard question: who's going to be the head coach for the Lakers?
Isn't at the end of the day, isn't the head coach position of the Lakers going to be a puppet?
You really think that that's how they're going to have to go into it this year, though?
Oh,
Because I'll be honest, Ron. Like,
I got
if
I'm
if
seeing-
they were to have some type of success this year, I would go with you. I don't know. After the whole cluster show we just saw, bro, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, but the reports is coming out that Pelinka and Jeannie's leaning into LeBron, trusting in him, and going to do best by him and let him make these decisions. So I feel
Well,
like
that's their first mistake.
don't do that, Jay.
That's their first mistake.
Oh my gosh.
How are the
Come
Rockets?
on,
Yes.
he's a player, not a GM.
How are the Rockets?
exactly.
Okay,
Lead
stay
GM.
in your lane. Stay in your lane. Don't
So at
disrespect
the end of
LeBron
the day, whoever's coaching is going to have to listen to LeBron and make sure he's catered to. So we talk about these extremely great coaches, Mark Jackson, who really is, someone to come in and take control. I don't know if that's going to be best for the Lakers. They need a player coach, a player's guy, somebody that's going to be able to do whatever the team wants and whatever management wants. Just to be
Ron, have you ever known a player besides Bill Russell that is wanting to do what you're saying to do? Name any NBA ball player that has had that distinction besides Bill Russell.
hasn't that been LeBron?
No, he's looking at it
Modern
from a
day
literal
version of
point.
Bill
No, he's looking at it from a literal point of view.
Someone
when
that
you say
actually
player
coached
coach,
and played.
Yeah, because he's looking at because when you say player coach, he's looking at the literal point of view when Bill Russell would literally check himself out, and in his shorts is still doesn't even say still standing, literally like calling plays out. Like that's how he's thinking about it.
Thank you, Pride. Thank you.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying, Ron, and I would agree with you if this season had some level of success.
LeBron had a lot
There
of
was
success.
Well, but again, he's a player and not a GM.
I'm not even gonna get into it with you, Jay, because you're the same one who was happy when James Harden was in Houston. He was demanding they'll go get Dwight and they go get Russ and they go get CP3.
No.
I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing.
I never wanted Russell Westbrook.
Sir,
I never wanted Russell Westbrook.
Sir.
You're killing me, Pride. You're killing me
Sir,
this
I
morning.
know that's my job. All right. This is all I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. Like, I don't know. With how bad this season was, they're gonna have to try something new. And you still have LeBron for one more year. And I mean, look, LeBron's gonna leave LA anyway. Let's just be honest, right? If his son gets drafted, he's leaving LA if LA doesn't get him. Like, so at some point, it's like, I understand you want to keep LeBron happy. I understand that, but he's gonna leave. He's going to. Like, if OKC gets his son, or if the Orlando Magic gets his son, or Golden State can get his son, he's gonna go wherever his son goes. So it's like, I understand what you're saying about keeping LeBron happy, but it would make more sense if, by the way, you're saying his son averages 6 points per game.
I was going to say that too. But is Bronny really all that good? I mean, honestly,
well, he's solid.
He's all right.
He's draftable. Now, I'm not talking about like he's going to be a first round pick, or I'm sorry, number 1 overall pick, but he's draftable. Right.
I'm just saying it's not like Bronny's putting up like these insane, crazy numbers like Bron was back in his day.
The numbers that they're putting up are, if I'm mistaken, I think that's the AAU team where everyone and their mom is talented and the coaches draw plays for everybody. So he's not putting up 18 shots a game.
Well, that's true.
The part that, you see what I'm saying? So people are
you don't have to look at his field goal percentage to see how good he really is.
So, and he's solid. He's all right. Now, like I said, is he going to be the number 1 overall pick? No, he's not.
He's going to do.
He's still draftable. He still has enough where you could be draftable. He's still enough. So, but again, Freddie, you're saying, but 6 points per game. I understand that. But the problem is, if you're playing in a stacked AAU team where they have plays drawn up for everybody and you're not getting 18 shots per game, you're going to average 6 points per game. That's just kind of the reality of the situation.
Hey, fellas, can I give you my little soliloquy right now real quick? The Lakers right now.
If you can spell soliloquy, you can absolutely do it. Go ahead. We'll wait.
Hey, I had a hard time. I had to research that. But anyway, what I'm saying is you got 3 players right now who have approximately $147 million against the cap. LeBron is scheduled for a 2-year extension at $97 million. Do you think he's going to turn that down?
Absolutely.
Think he is?
Yeah.
He's going to turn down $97 million?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, because he done said it. Once his son gets in the league, he says it's not about the money. He says it's not about money. It's not about
the money. Bron's got so much money right now that it's
right. So
I don't think it really is.
Fellas,
right now,
it's not next year. It's the year after. It's not. It's the year after that Bronny comes out. Not
right,
next year.
But he set up his contract extension for it to run out when he's eligible to be drafted.
Correct. His extension runs out.
Yeah. So it runs out, and then that off season, his son can come in the league.
And guess how much he's going to get before the off season?
0, because he's not gonna go anywhere. He's gonna wait to see where his son go. Okay.
Right. What I'm saying
your
is,
eyes, you clearly don't know what you're talking about, because LeBron done said this every single time you ask about his son. He says, "Oh yeah, I'm going wherever he is, and I'm taking the veteran minimum." He's done said this like 15 times. Every time they ask him about his son, that's what he says. He says the same thing every time.
Okay. All right. I'll roll with y'all. All right. I'll roll with y'all.
No, you're not rolling with me. You're not rolling with me. You're just rolling with LeBron, whatever he said. I'm only rolling with what he said. And now if it's a lie, he told it. If it's a lie, then he got to take the lashings. But
it's not a lie. First of all, we don't know how good Bronny's going to be in that year and a half. We don't know who he's going to get drafted by. We don't know the team that drafts him. If they do, will they pick LeBron? We don't know that. We don't know that.
I mean, there is a lot of unvariables, right? I mean, what if Bronny comes out and he's just not the hyped-up guy? What if he winds up in the G League? What if he winds up being a role player? I mean, there is a lot of unknown variables.
What if he gets hurt?
it's too early to predict, but there's a lot of variables that could take that out of fruition. Because let's be honest, Braun can only last so damn long before he's just done. So
Right,
hopefully maybe it does work out for him. But there's a lot of things that are going to have to go right in order for Braun to be able to play with his son.
Well, I don't think it necessarily a lot of things have to go right. I don't think that necessarily, because again, it also like, I mean, I like, you guys are making it seem like the kid is dog shit, and
no, I'm not saying he's dog shit, but I'm also saying that he hasn't. I'm not saying he's dog shit, but I'm just saying, look, it's still the NBA, and you still gotta. I mean, there's a lot. Probably, I don't care if Braun is his dad. There's still hurdles you have to clear, and we don't. It's still too early for Bronny Jr. to really know if he's got that it.
Ron, I'm gonna put it this way: if Adam Morrison could get drafted top 5, ain't no excuses.
Well, that's true. That's a good point, Pride.
If Adam Morrison can get drafted top 5,
Who?
I don't want to hear nothing.
And Kobe Brown can go number 1.
I don't care what no one says, bro.
Are you talking about Adam Morrison?
Is that what?
Who are you
Yeah, he's talking about Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison.
Oh, well. I got a little personal story I can tell you about that one. But yeah, he got drafted by the Lakers. I know all about that. And a guy from my hometown, by the way, was the last cut by the Lakers. And the only reason why they kept Morrison because he had a guaranteed contract, because he had the number 1 pick as a rookie. And he lasted for what, half hour? Oh, no comment. All right, look, let me give you my soliloquy again. Check this out, fellas. Whether you believe me or whether you think I don't know what I'm talking about, check this out. What if Pelinka, Jeannie Buss, whomever they got over there, the Larry Moore and Curly, they get Magic back. They get James Worthy back. They get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar back as advisors. What do you think is going to happen? And whoever they determine who's going to be the coach, whether it be Mark Jackson, whether it be Spoelstra, whether it be whoever they get, I think Mark Jackson deserves a chance. He's been blackballed from the NBA only because of his religious convictions. That's why he's not refereeing coaching in the NBA.
I think to answer your question, if they got those guys back as advisors, it would be more of what you currently have going on right now, which is just mass hysteria and upper level management. What they need to do is have a general manager take the reins, make the decisions, and go from there. I'm not saying you can't have an advisor like Magic, but at the same time, you got to have a guy making the decisions that's best for the team, and not a whole soliloquy of people trying to throw their 2 cents in there.
Okay, fellas, let me ask you all this. As you know, I claim to be a historian, whether that's true or not. How come the best known players in Lakers history don't do anything for the Lakers?
Oh, mic drop. Literal. Pun intended.
I didn't even know what he said. Well,
I don't even know where you go with that one, but yeah, that was a literal mic drop.
I ain't doing it. I don't want Freddie yelling at me.
Did Freddie make it mandatory that we start the day off with Lakers topics?
No, I was just curious. I was just curious on your thoughts. Honestly, I was more curious on how you guys would react to what I said, that I felt like Frank Vogel was getting a little done dirty. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
Every time I say that, people get upset with me.
No, I don't.
Like,
I think that's accurate.
You know what I mean?
But
like, no, I'm not
isn't
saying
that
he's scot-free. Go ahead, Ron.
Isn't that how it's supposed to be? The coach is the connecting link between the team and management.
To an extent, right? Like, if this is how I look at it. If you are drawing horrible plays, or you look like you're doing absolutely nothing and you're kind of just standing there, if you look like Steve Nash and you're doing absolutely nothing, if you look like Vinny Del Negro right before he got fired from the Clippers, where he was making no adjustments whatsoever and he was just willing to, if it's something like that, then yes, blame him. You just had success with Frank Vogel a couple years before, and his calling card, which was defense, you guys were a top 2 team there. And then now you take everything, and now your best defensive player is what? A 37-year-old LeBron James?
Right.
Like,
Right.
you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and the thing about it is, they brought in Ariza, but they brought in Ariza, and Ariza was actually a really good defender, but they never played him.
Never. And that's why I don't really count Ariza, because and it's kind of different because there were times where he was injured, and then it was bizarre because there were times that he wouldn't play.
Right.
And they would call him a healthy scratch. Now, if he really wasn't healthy and they just called him healthy and then he kind of had maybe that was the case, whatever. But, you know, I don't know. In my opinion, I just feel like he got dealt the raw hand this year.
Yeah.
To give him all the blame where you've seen him try to do adjustments. He's doing what he possibly could. You saw an effort. He was it's not like he just kind of pulled a Doc Rivers and just gave up and told them to figure it out. He tried. So it's like at some point we kind of got to be like, well, free Vogel. That again, that's just me, Ron. I see you shaking your head.
It makes sense. No, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's all. And again, I let me just clarify my position just in case. I'm not saying he deserves zero blame. I'm not saying that at all. I'm giving him a portion of the blame. But to perpetrate this false narrative that it's solely his fault, I don't think that's fair. I really don't. Say again, Gron?
I said it's the whole organization. And
They said that they're gonna.
scapegoat.
Yeah, basically, he got scapegoated. Bless his heart, though. Bless his heart.
Which he should. If you're Jeannie Buss, what's the first move you're going to do to,
The
get
coach.
everybody?
Yep.
And then
But I'm not even talking about from the organization. I'm just talking about from the fans and the media's perspective. You know what I mean? Like, it's business for you to fire your head coach. Like, that's just business, right? In terms of the media and the fans to hop on that and say, oh, yeah, he should. I just think that's disingenuous because just 2 years prior, all of a sudden, Frank Vogel was the greatest coach in the history of Lakers history.
Right.
And now all of a sudden he's a bum. And it's like, and I
Yep.
understand how it is with Lakers fans. They're rabid. I understand that. But I don't care how rabid you are. You need a moment of clarity. You need a moment of clarity. When you see a rabid raccoon digging through the trash and it looks at you and there's a split second it's looking at you before it attacks. That's a moment of clarity. And Lakers fans need that moment of clarity to relax and breathe for a split second so they can understand, all right, look, it is what it is. It's kind of his fault, but we're not solely going to blame him. If a Lakers fan can tell me that, I'm chilling. Free Frank Vogel. He
I'm
ain't coming
with
to
you.
the Celtics, though.
I'm with you.
He ain't coming to the Celtics, though. So
He got a raw deal. Man.
Raw deal.
What, Ron?
What? Who? What?
He got to be the coach of one of the greatest franchises ever and win a championship. He's going to be remembered and honored forever.
Do you really
something?
think he'll be remembered, though?
He won't
I don't
be.
think he'll be remembered.
He won't be.
I don't know about that, bro.
And he won't be. They won a championship in the bubble.
Think about it,
He's
bro.
not going to be remembered.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not even going that route. I'm not even gonna go that the bubble route. But, bro,
So
we were alive.
You're a historian. There's been so
Yeah,
many
right.
different championship runs that came under excruciating terms where it wasn't a normal season. And I can't believe someone with your wisdom just said it's a bubble championship.
No. I'm saying he's not going to be remembered. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm saying he's not going to be remembered. I'm a historian. Of course, I'm going to remember.
So you say the bubble championship is not as qualified as winning a regular NBA championship.
What I'm saying is probably going to be an asterisk. You know something? You win a damn NBA championship, you win a championship. And you deserve all the credit in the world. I'm not saying me. I'm saying it's not going to be viewed by others. And how many coaches, after winning a championship, the very next year you have get booted out. Think about that.
Well, it was 2 years, but
Yeah. All right.
I don't know, man. Free Frank Vogel.
Do y'all really want to watch the Lakers return next year with Frank Vogel as a coach?
You know something? Given the fact if he has a full team and they do some things which I can tell you all about in a minute, I think he deserves another chance. I think.
Well, I think the problem is, I think I wouldn't mind seeing Frank Vogel come back. I think upper level management needs to get their shit squared away.
Damn
and
right.
I think that they do need to take a look at this roster and realize that it's not functioning. And the worst part about it was they brought in Westbrook, which we all know was not a good fit for this team. And I hate to say it, but that was Braun that brought him in there. So, like I said, Braun's a great player. I just don't think he's GM type material.
Absolutely not.
And I think it still falls back on Pelinka, Jenny Buss, and so forth to get their shit squared away, and let's get the team back on track.
You are absolutely correct. And right now, the Lakers have 7 players under contract right now. 3 of them costing $147 million, and then you got a few other guys, whatever. But there is a solution, my people. There is a solution. Now, will people take advantage of it? I don't know. But hear me out. Russell Westbrook's gonna be making $47 million. You got a lot of teams in the NBA. Listen, please. A lot of teams in the NBA right now who have expiring contracts that they want to get rid of. Now, it comes down to the salary cap, fellas. I'm no salary cap genius. I ain't all that. But what I know is if you can find a team like Indiana Pacers, I'm going to give you an example, Indiana Pacers, who have expiring contracts, will take on Russell Westbrook for 1 year, and that frees their salary cap forever. Think about it. I'm just letting you know that's one way to get rid of Russell Westbrook if that's what they so desire. Because right now you have a lot of NBA teams, look it up, they have expiring contracts. And when you're an owner or you're a manager, what you do is you look at expiring contracts. Who you want to get rid of? What can you do for future draft picks, or what can you do for future references? Russell Westbrook is the key, because $47 million against the cap this year. You take him on, you get rid of all the expiring contracts, and then next year you're free. Now, I'm talking about a team that has no plans on being a championship team next year, but the following year, think of what they can do. I want to hear y'all come back on this one.
Yeah, I think of a team like Detroit. I could see
another one.
A Russell Westbrook, Jeremy Grant trade, something like that. There's a lot of options. I think they end up getting back into talks with Houston. That was really the only team that wanted.
There you go again.
But at the end of the day,
Houston's not taking Westbrook. They want picks, and they're not just going to do a lateral move.
I'm just saying
they're not going to just do a lateral move. They're going to want picks, and let's be honest, the Lakers have no picks to give.
All right, how about this one? I'm going with Indiana. And how about Sacramento? Check it out.
Oh, Sacramento will trade anybody and anything.
I'm just trying to tell y'all something. Come on.
That's what it's going to be. Oh, man, dumpster fire. At the end of the day, it's a LeBron James team, and we know what LeBron James is going to want. Another superstar to come play with him.
Would he really, though?
You said what?
I said, would he really, though? Because think about it. The last ring he won, it was basically a big 2 with a great supporting cast. Not another superstar, but it was a great supporting cast. If I'm the Lakers, I repitch that same thing to him. I repitch it. That's just me. I'd be like, yo, Bron, you came off an MVP caliber season. You could have won the scoring title. Imagine if you do this one more time. You and AD, let's get you a decent solid cast with some youngsters who play defense. I don't know. If you go to Bron and you tell him, yo, we want to try to recreate that championship team, I think Bron will be all right with it.
Well, they could have had DeRozan. They blew that chance. They could have had Tyronn Lue. They blew that chance.
Whoa, when were they getting Tyronn Lue from the Clippers?
They were never going to get him. They were never going to get him.
Before that, he was already signed to deliver. He wanted 5 years and pick his own assistants. They told him, we'll give you 4, but we're going to tell you who your assistants are. Look it up.
I'm almost positive LeBron is going to get somebody to demand a trade, i.e. Damian Lillard. We're going to start whispering it here.
No way. That's
I know.
I think
This is
Did
true.
Damian Lillard kind of come out and said he's loyal to Portland regardless and staying there?
Rich Paul is in somebody's ear.
I don't know.
And why I disagree with your point, Pride, about being a 2-star team is that's easy at the beginning. When you have your roster constructed, you got all these pieces, but now they're on the back burner. They're not going to be able to get a perfect roster to suit these 2 superstars. And then at the same time, those 2 superstars have an age problem and an injury problem. You can't.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
And it's not going to be successful because LeBron and AD are not going to be able to go the whole season and have a success.
Hell no.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
That's why they got
the last 2 years have just been straight up injury prone.
Yep.
Right.
Damn,
They need somebody. They need a number 1 because LeBron and AD ain't it.
Exactly.
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean it ain't it?
Well, it's just because AD can't stay healthy. He would be a number 1 if he could stay on the damn court, but he can't stay on the court to even prove that.
Can we stop this false narrative that he's just fragile?
He is fragile, bro.
We need to stop that false narrative because only idiots have that narrative. Have y'all seen his injuries? Y'all pretended like the dude is like
I'm not saying he's not skilled to be a number 1. I'm not saying he's not skilled to be a number 1. I'm saying he can't stay on the court to be the number 1.
I'm not talking about the skill, Jay. I'm not talking about the skill. I'm talking about the narrative that everyone wants to sit here and cry that, oh, he's injury prone. Like, y'all need to understand the way he gets injured isn't because just him going up, coming down, and all of a sudden he just goes. Y'all want to pretend like he was D Rose. He took 1 step and all of a sudden his thing went. That's
Okay, Pride, I'm gonna hit you up with this, Pride.
It's
I'm
not.
gonna hit you up. How
It's
come
just
you
some
came
crazy
after
wrong
they won the
mistakes at
championship?
wrong time plays. That's all it is. So stop pretending like, oh yeah, as soon as he steps on the court, he's injured. Like, no. Like,
Okay,
No, I'm saying a lot of the stuff he has had a lot of freak injuries.
I'm ready to roll on this one. Pride, Jay, give me a minute. Okay, Pride, from what you're saying about his injuries that, of course, he couldn't prevent, I'm with you. But let me ask you a question. When you have a man who's your teammate, who basically runs a team, who, the last call, spends 1.5 million, 2 million on his body, why does AD not work out with him? Give me a response to that. Why did he coming over?
Okay, and you clearly don't know what you're talking about because they have workouts all the time. I don't know how savvy you are with social media, but they put it on social media literally all the time.
Who does he work out with? Who's he work out with? Who's he work out with?
Bron and AD. It'll be Bron, AD, and they'll basically whoever else wants to come.
AD don't work out with LeBron, bro. Maybe once in a while. He don't work out with him. Why is he coming out of shape then? If what you're saying is true, how come he came into camp after the bubble out of shape?
Because they all went on vacation. The man got married. The man got married.
Correct.
Do better. Do better. The man went on. It was an off season where everybody goes and does what they want. Of course, you're gonna come back sometimes a little overweight. That just happens because if you're just not hooping and you're enjoying your life, that happens. Yes, LeBron James literally works out 365 days a year. I get that, but he's the anomaly. Most guys don't do that. You think Kevin Durant doing that in the offseason? No. The Slim Reapers out here collecting souls and whatnot.
That is a great point. So we should be.
That is a great point. You know something? You shut me up for once. But hey, he's a different animal. Like you said, he's an anomaly. That's different. But someone who's always injury prone, don't you think that they would test to get into the best shape of their life when you're making $39 million a year?
I don't know. You can say that, but this is the same league that's making John Wall get paid a zillion dollars and still not play. So I
don't understand.
I don't know. Well, they want to keep him healthy because they want to try to increase the trade value, which to me is kind of counterproductive because you should at least have him play a little bit so people can know he can actually still hoop. Because Houston's different. I think at this point they just gonna cut John Wall at this point because like I don't think anyone's really gonna want to trade him at this point because no one knows really what you got with him. But I don't know, man. See, like, and here's the thing, and I hate Freddie. I
don't like him either.
Not everybody, like, and his point here is legit. Not everyone is gonna literally on the offseason. Like, these guys have families, right? And they want to have fun and they want to live their life and they focus on that stuff too. Jordan didn't care about anybody. He just was like, I'm hooping, point blank, period. Same thing with Kobe, right? Bron kind of does it, but he kind of does make time for his family, but you can kind of still put him in that conversation. But you think Steph Curry's working out every single day of the year?
No.
Well, let me tell y'all something real quick. Pride, the names you just mentioned. Does Kobe have an indoor facility in his house?
No.
Yes, he does.
I don't think so.
Yes, he does. Does LeBron have one? Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Did Kobe have one? Yes, he does. So your argument there, I ain't wrong with that. Not 365 days a year, but like you said, you can have your wedding, you can have your time, you can have your fun. But know something? At the end, I'm gonna tell you something. Kevin McHale told me one time for real. He said no, because we had a pizza and beer party after the Sellers camp. I'll go into that later. But he said, I got all my life to drink and enjoy my life. I'm concentrating on, like Tom Brady, I'm concentrating on my sport because I don't know how many years I have to do that. And I know so many people who have ended their careers because of not being in the best shape. Off season is off season. You're off. But you come to camp out of shape, bro. I'm sorry. You can get you can join. I know I'm a ball player, bro. I know.
No, you don't clearly. When does training camp start? Right after the off season. So don't sit there and say you could do what you want in the off season, but if you come in out of shape for training camp, you're a bad guy.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, but when you're making $38 million, all eyes are on you.
Juan, let me ask you a question. In the off season, is there any basketball related activities that you're mandatory to do?
No, sir.
Jay, in the off season, do you need to report to in the off season?
No,
do you need to report back to the team?
No.
Thank you for coming to my
don't.
That's it.
I gotta come back for you though. I gotta come back.
No, you don't. You're gonna be
watch it. Okay. I gotta come back for you. Like I said, I know my stuff, fellas. Do you know how many summer leagues there are? Pro-Am, New York, Seattle,
LA, Vegas.
Okay, LA. See, and again, you're now reaching. What did I say? Mandatory. Are those mandatory?
I'm not saying it has to be mandatory. I'm saying
because if you're complaining about the guy's money, there is a mandatory thing you need to do to collect said money. In the off season, it's off season, so that means the season switch, like, because you know how like there's a switch that you flip on for the season. It's now in the off position, so there's no games. There's nothing you need to do. It is your free time. This is your vacation. You have a few months off before you need to come back, hit training camp, and go from there.
Pride, you have to practice your craft.
It's a choice, bro.
That's my point. It's his choice. That's my point.
Well, let's be honest. If you want players to come in like that, if you want players to come in shape or require them to come in shape, then it has to be in their contract.
Thank you.
And if it's not in their contract, then it just is what it is.
No.
If a guy wants to hoop in one of those Pro-Am things, have at it. If you want to organize some dudes pop off. The choice is yours. But I'm not gonna slander a dude and start complaining and crying and
Somebody
bitching and moaning if he wants to go to Cabo.
I don't care about that, bro. What I'm saying, if you come in out of shape, you're susceptible to injuries. Luka Doncic. Do I have to go on? And I can name so many names that people who have come.
Just got injured though, so you can't even use.
No, he got
but
injured before he came out of shape. Come on, man. Anyway, what I'm saying is, why do these NBA Jamal Crawford
out of shape? It doesn't matter because that's what training camp is for. That is literally the purpose of training camp.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
That is literally the purpose of training camp.
Oh, first of all, you are wrong. You ask anybody, do you want your players to come in out of shape? Ask anybody, bro. Anybody. I played 40 years.
Whether or not
nobody
the team wants you to
nobody come in out of shape.
It doesn't matter. Okay, in a perfect world, they will come in healthy and injuries will be turned off. But this is not a perfect world. If a guy comes in out of shape, does it suck? Sure, but you can't penalize him. You can't get mad and you can't scream at him because it's something called the off season where there's no games and there's no team activities. Henceforth, why they made training camp to get guys in so that way they can get in shape before the preseason, before the regular season.
Okay, now I'm gonna hit you another time because I wasn't NBA material. I'm just using me as an example. I was not NBA material. The players who are not Kevin Durant or James Harden or whoever, and they want to make the team, you think they're gonna come to camp out of shape?
It doesn't.
But again, I think what Michael's saying is like, he's talking about a personal choice, but a personal choice does not mean it doesn't mean that you have to do it.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying if you want.
Yes, you are.
Guess you're not getting me.
Yes, you are.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying it's mandated. What I'm saying is, when you come to camp, you want to come to camp in shape.
What is the purpose of training camp?
NFL, do they go to camp out of shape?
Sometimes. Henceforth, why they got something called training camp?
Hey, I think Jamal Russell was the best version of that.
I'm not even going to talk about that. What is the purpose of training camp?
Jamal Russell. I'm saying how bad he got out of shape.
Oh, well, yeah. There are some. Come on, yeah.
What is the purpose of training camp? What is the purpose of training camp?
The purpose of training camp?
What is the purpose of training camp?
Well, depending upon what sport you're talking
about. No. It's the
same
purpose
thing. Of training camp is to familiarize yourself with whatever team you're on and the coach and the system. That's training camp, man. Y'all laughing, huh?
Yes,
I guess you never played.
That's not the purpose of training.
I guess you never played.
That's not the purpose of training. I have. And when I went to training camp, I went to training camp for baseball, soccer, basketball, and baseball. I went to training camp for all four. Ask me how many times in training camp we ran plays. I'll spoil it for you. 0. Because the purpose of training camp is to get you in shape. That is the purpose of training camp because there is a gap in between each season. So if you're out of shape, that is the purpose of it. Then we have the option. If everyone is in shape and everyone is looking good, you have the option to end training camp early. So that way you then can get familiarized with the playbook.
You are wrong.
Do better.
You're wrong.
Do better.
The purpose of training camp. You're right.
What is the purpose?
The purpose of training camp.
And if you hit me with to get familiarized, that's the preseason. That's the preseason. The preseason is when you get familiarized with people. That's what the preseason is for. That's what practice is for.
How they preseason what?
Preseason is after training camp.
Quick. I'm trying to tell you. I know I'm way older than you all guys, so I know. What I'm saying is training camp, yes. Do they do what depending upon what sport? I'm familiar with basketball, so I can't speak on baseball. I can't speak on soccer or whatever. The preseason or training camp is to accumulate yourself or get together with the players you're going to be playing with against. You have team meetings. You have all kinds of other stuff besides getting in shape. What coaches want is you to be in shape before you go to camp. So you're already in shape. So you become in better shape.
Hold on. Hey, let me say one thing real quick. I've been listening to y'all for a hot minute. Listen, Michael, and hold on. Let me say this. Michael lives in the utopian system.
I just throw this one thing out there real quick, Jay. And I promise I'll hand you the floor. I promise. Let me just throw that one thing out. Can't you cut guys like after training camp or before the regular season? So why would you get familiarized with someone in training camp when they can get cut? Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Jay. I apologize. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I just think that Michael lives in a utopian society. Listen. Here's the deal, Mike.
World, it would make sense, but
exactly. Here's the deal, Mike. Here's the deal. Unless you put it in your contract, they don't have to do shit. They just go to training camp the way they are. And hold on, Mike. Listen to me now, Mike. Stop, because I've been listening a long time, and I'm not getting any damn younger. Okay, I'm not. I don't want to and then this whole conversation, and I'm going to say what the hell I got to say. So shut the hell up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now listen, man. Listen, at the end of the day, if you want to be great at your craft on a personal level, yes, Mike, you're going to do all those things you say, and you're going to go to camp. But it's not a freaking requirement unless it's in your contract. So if you want to prolong your career, if you want to have great success, then you're going to personally make that something like Braun and Jordan and so forth. But if you're just going to do what you want to do and come together the way you want to come to camp, well, then guess what, Mike? It's their damn prerogative.
And guess what, Jay? Guess what the results are going to be?
Mike, yeah, again.
If you do that, it's your prerogative.
You know what? It's still their prerogative. It's still their prerogative.
When you go to camp, Jay, what happens when you go to camp? And you're out of shape.
So you know what happens, Mike? I'll tell you what happens. You come to camp in a shape, you don't perform, you get ready for the regular season, and if you're not performing, two things happen. Either A, you get cut, B, you get injured, or C, you get benched. But at the end of the day, it's on the player itself is what happens.
That's my point.
That's not your point. You're now fabricating
what option do you want to have?
So bad.
What option do you want to have, Jay?
But see, you're talking from a personal perspective.
I'm enjoying my life.
That's what I'm saying.
That's not what you're saying at all. You're now making shit up. You're now making things up. You're now making.
Yes, Mike. To your point, it would be great that they came into shape, but it's not mandatory.
And you know what else would be great? If injuries were off. If injuries would be off, but they're not.
I ain't saying it's mandatory. I'm saying if you're a ball player, you want to come to be the best you can be, and you want to come in shape. If y'all are Kobe Bryant, you want to come at your best. You want to go to camp to get in shape. You want to be in shape.
I don't give a flying shit about training camp.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Can we move on to the next topic, please? I've done 12 freaking roots on this shit. Can we move on to the next topic?
Hey, Jay.
I apologize, fellas. Hey, that means a lot to my heart, bro. All right? I know what I know. I done got 50 years experience. I know what I know. So, maybe I don't know. Whatever you feel, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, I believe you know. I want to hear some stories.
Oh, I got some. I played against Dr. J. I played against Nick Archibald. I played against JoJo White. I know what I know.
Yeah, you don't know the
I interviewed Sam Jones, 10-time NBA champion. I know what I know. So I respect you all. Great show. But I know what I football, I keep my mouth shut. Hey, I keep my mouth. Don't
let pride do that to you. Pride done got that hate in your heart.
Let it go. Let it go.
What pride do anything?
I wasn't arguing with Mike. It was you.
I love you guys. Hey, I still love Pride. He's just young. He don't know what I know. Hey, I'll send you videotapes. Me playing against Dr.
It doesn't matter who you play with.
JoJo White,
it doesn't
Paul
matter
Silas. I got that.
It doesn't matter who you interviewed. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter where you were born. If you don't know what training camp is for, hats off to you.
You know something? Pride, you don't know. I know. I've been to training camps, bro. I know. Look me up. Check it out. Look me up.
Apparently not. D can look you up. Oh yeah, D can look you up. There's the same dude who says that training camp is for you to get familiarized with the same dudes that are gonna get cut in 2 days. Yeah, I'm gonna get familiarized with the 59th guy on the bench only for him tomorrow I never see his face again. But yeah, let me
I
get
am not
familiarized with him.
saying.
Let
I'm
me run
saying
up certain plays
not
with
for
him.
that personal
You just
player,
said-
but for the team.
So
Oh
he
my
just said
God,
you need
yeah.
to get familiarized with the coach, the system, the players, and everything. Now you don't. I don't know, man.
Woo. I'm gonna
I
take
don't know,
another
man.
sip of this Jack for you boys.
Hey, I still love you, Pride, but you're wrong, bro. You're wrong. But hey, you have a right to your opinion. Yo,
Hey, listen. To quote a line from Invincible and Mark Wahlberg, where he says, "Hey, you spelled my name wrong," and the trainer says, "Hey, does it really freaking matter? Are you going to be here long enough?" I'm just saying. Does it really matter?
Apparently, if you make it a training camp, you're guaranteed a roster spot for the entire year. It's a pretty mint deal.
now let me tell you something. One more thing. Now you say training is not that important. It's important for whatever sport you're in. For basketball, the other 50 players or it's important to them. That's my point, y'all. It might not be important to you, Pride, but it's important because guess what? 1% of players make it to the NBA. Now they got the G League, they got the European League. Please don't go there with me, bro, because I know what I know. So in order to make an NBA team,
meanwhile, you flipped your stance 8 times because of how wrong you've been. I'm chilling.
I don't care. The point is, I know what I'm saying.
I don't know, man, because I don't know. You say that and then you switch your stance literally every other sentence.
No, because you think I am. All I'm saying is, you're saying training camp, I don't give a damn about.
That's me. Yes, I personally don't care about participating in training camp because it's meant to keep people in shape.
No, it is. It's meant to get people on the roster. What the hell do I have
to tell you? The same people you're going to keep on the roster that you're going to cut the next day.
Okay, I'm seriously not getting any younger. Can we try?
Can we move on,
please? It doesn't even matter, man. Because if
I still love you, Pride.
I done grown weeds on this one. Okay, I done grown weeds.
Weeds, you say, or weed?
No. If I had weed, you'd see a big plume of smoke. I literally have grown weeds.
Hey, I don't smoke weed, but I will right now because Pride drives me crazy.
I need to go get my own damn self some Jack Daniels right through this stuff.
Oh my gosh. Hey, great show though, fellas. I still love you, Pride, but I will never mess with you or Jay about any other sport. When it comes to the NBA, I'm gonna fight with you tooth and net. I don't care. I know.
You can fight and be wrong. That's fine. I mean, you know what I mean? Like the British did that, and look where it got them. So you can fight. At the end of the day, it is.
All right, my brother. Hey, so Ron ain't saying nothing. We gotta get him involved. Yeah, I'm good. We can move on.
I think Ron's drunk.
Getting there.
I knew it.
Hey, if you didn't see the word happy hour behind him, you know it now.
That's why it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Oh yeah, dude.
So I gotta take a quick sabbatical real quick.
Play in? I think there's a play in tonight. I'm pretty sure.
Is it tonight or is it tomorrow? No, it's tonight and tomorrow.
Tonight.
It's
both. 7 o'clock.
If I'm mistaken,
ready.
If I'm mistaken, the four playing games happen today, right? Or is it 2 today and 2 tomorrow?
2 today, 2 tomorrow.
Yo, they really.
Yeah, you got one West Coast and East Coast game each day.
Dude, they really stupid. Freddie, we already finished the argument. So if you want to go back,
we already did, Freddie. You came in too late, Freddie.
If you want to go back on,
Lakers,
we can go later.
We're not going back down that rabbit hole. Don't say nothing about the Lakers. Don't say nothing about training camp.
It wasn't a rabbit. It wasn't a rabbit hole, Jay. It was a dark hole, black hole.
It was. Hey, listen, we put that hole so deep, I found China.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. I just want to come on here and give my little 2 cents real quick. And I'm going to hop off and leave and go to work. So there's 2 different things when we say in shape. Players should come in shape, okay? But training camp is to help them get in basketball shape. Because even though you might be in shape, that don't mean they're in shape to go play basketball. So there's so training camp, they're supposed to come in there and work even harder to get them prepared to play basketball. And then you go in and start working on your plays and stuff like that. So that's where I think the misunderstanding is coming in on two of the parties. I'm not mentioning the name because they're calm right now. But yeah, I just and I agree, Ron. No more Laker talk on the ASAP network until October. Right.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you, boss.
Did y'all talk? You know what, Pride?
You're a
I'm
different
very
vote.
disappointed in you, brother. I'm really.
What I
am.
did this time? What I do?
Did
I'm a liberal.
anybody here? And I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna write the quotes down and stuff like that. I listened to a couple of the players' exit interviews. I listened to Rob Pelinka, which
I don't know why Kendrick Nunn had an exit interview, but God bless him, brother. I was like, what the
He
hell?
still got paid. He got paid.
more than anything, hey, I'm like this. I said Rob Pelinka did not deserve to be the general manager for the Lakers.
I'm with
That he needs to be fired. He sounded like an arrogant prince. I mean, he really did. And I didn't like the vibe. You put blame on everybody and their mama yesterday, but he did not see it. He talked about he need a coach to hold players accountable.
He pulled a Doc Rivers.
He didn't hold himself accountable. There was a question about, him putting this roster together, him, Frank Vogel had nothing to do with it, him doing this, doing that. And he avoided him taking accountability.
Yep.
And that is the problem that I have with it. Rob Pelinka, and then he even said multiple times, he made this clear to say this, you guys. Oh, at the end of the day, I'm the last say so. It all comes down on my shoulders. Okay, if that's the case, then Rob, I want to hear you say, I failed by putting this roster together. I failed Frank Vogel. So that's what I want to hear. I want to, okay, let you start taking accountability. This guy, I've said it many times, and I'm gonna say it again. If this is any other NBA team, he would not have opportunity to be a general manager. He wouldn't. The only reason why he got it with the Lakers is because through Kobe. I believe Kobe was the voice. Now that he's gone, it's a mess in LA. And Jeannie Buss need to clean house. And I'm talking about in the front office. Kirk Rambis, he need to go. He wasn't that great of a coach. Hell, I don't know why his wife is in the front office. She needs to go. Phil Jackson, he's been gone. How long? He needs to go. Rob Pelinka needs to go. You need to find a general manager that knows basketball, that knows what they're doing, and then find a coach, then allow that coach to make decisions pertaining to basketball, pertaining to their roster, and then judge him fairly. Until then, they're going to be a laughing joke.
And now, Fred, boss, you had said everything you said was correct. Now, where did Pelinka go to school?
Michigan State, I believe.
No. He went to Michigan. And who did he play with?
Jalen Rose and all them guys.
Maybe a guy by the name of Juwan Howard that they're trying to get as a coach.
If the Lakers get Juwan out of Michigan, I'm going nuts. I'm streaking.
You hear what I'm saying, though? You hear what I'm saying?
I think Mark Jackson will be a guy, especially. See, one thing I know about Mark Jackson, he's not going to put up with a bunch of BS. He's not going to let the Kirk Rambises of the world tell him how to run his team and stuff like that. He's going to be straightforward. Either you're going to let me run my team or you need to find a new coach. And that's the type of guy. They need a guy, and they need a guy that won't be afraid to tell LeBron no.
And boss, I mean, in a kind of crazy way, you and Mark Jackson are kind of alike. You both are very religious, and the reason why he can't get an NBA job is because of his religious convictions.
No, I agree, but the Lakers need to get out. They need to clean.
I'm with you.
And they need to clean their guys and say, you know what? Honestly, I'm tired of every 2 years we get a new coach. I'm ready to go back to a coach we're going to have 10, 15 years consistently. That's what I want. We need to find this next coach, and that'd be our next franchise coach. Just saying.
I have to
What
agree
did you
with
say,
you.
Ron?
I got to come back.
I said that's what I was thinking. Somebody young, somebody ready, and somebody that you can grow with.
Wow.
You guys don't have
Ooh.
the organization figured out to do that.
You know who I would not mind, Ron, and he have not had opportunity since Phoenix. What was that coach name? He's in Phoenix. Last name Watson, young coach.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
I believe he's
know
in
you're talking about.
Toronto right now.
He played in the NBA a few years. I know
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a young guy. I thought he had a great young mind
Jamie,
when he played back in Phoenix, but I don't know what
yes,
happened.
he's about 5'11". Oh God, I know who you're talking about.
They could
I know
just
exactly.
come get me. You know, I'm pretty young. You know, hey, come get me. I'll make Jay McLevin my assistant because I need somebody that can yell. I need somebody to yell, and then I get pride.
Listen, you can't have me as your assistant when I know more than you. You could probably be my assistant. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird.
Then I
Watson.
get pride.
I don't know
Because I'm gonna need a coach
Watson, I
that's
know
not
who you're
gonna be
talking
afraid to
about.
cut
Watson,
somebody
Watson.
out. That'll be pride. Then
You
we
said
gonna
coach.
Ron.
You said coach. Yeah, that's that.
Then we gonna need
You're
Ron.
a Zen master that you bring in when everybody's going crazy.
There you go.
Oh,
Come on, guys, let's pray.
But gentlemen, you guys have a good rest of y'all show. I just had to come in bringing my little 2 cents in.
Hey, Freddie, can you say a prayer for me in pride, please?
Hey, we hey, behind the closed doors we will because it's gonna be on. We're gonna have to be
I
on.
need it.
All right, y'all.
Watson, I know.
Fellas, try to work.
ASAP in the morning.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So,
Hell of a morning. Hell of a morning.
if I'm mistaken, it's a 9 and 10 plane, right?
Cavaliers, Nets.
7 o'clock. Well,
That's today. Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
And then who's after that?
And then,
Charlotte.
Clippers and Timberwolves.
yeah, that's. I'm gonna watch that one. I'm really pulling for the Timberwolves, but we'll see.
Yep. So
Yeah,
it's Tuesday.
somebody on that team said they're the best shooting big man ever.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Let's see. Get
I
done,
get
Cap.
why he said that.
Because he's
I mean,
ignorant.
No, bro. As a shooting big man, you got to admit he's one of the best. Let's be honest.
Who was
said-
the best? Yo?
He
Who was
said
the best?
ever, Pride. He didn't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Said number
Who was the
one.
best, y'all? Who was
He's
the
what,
best?
top 5? In terms of I'm talking about straight shooting.
Dirk. I don't
No,
care.
I'm not talking about who's the best. I'm talking
Very
about how many-
close.
He's top 5, right?
I can't argue with that. But there's one better.
There's one better than Dirk.
Yes.
Who you got?
Again, you know, I'm the historian that I am. There's one better. Although he didn't shoot the 3 because it was back in the day, but y'all can look him up. There was no one better than Bob McAdoo.
Ooh. Okay.
Look him up. Look him up. But he didn't have the fadeaway like that. He didn't have all that. But hey, I think he led the league in scoring 3 years without the 3-point shot. Had the perimeter game, inside, outside. Tremendous.
Bob McAdoo is bad. I also would throw Stasia Pojakovic, however you say his name, in there too.
Peja.
Stojakovic.
Peja.
Yeah, he was good. He was good. He was good. He was good.
Well, he was great.
The only reason why
He was a Sacramento assassin.
Because I'm trying to think as a shooter. I'm talking about straight as a shooter. Would I take him over Cat? I really am thinking.
No, because Cat can do everything he can do plus some.
No, I'm talking about specifically as a shooter. I'm not talking about
This is your corner 3 to spread the floor.
He's talking about just at the 3-point line.
No, I'm just talking about shooting. Just shooting.
Just shooting in general.
Yeah, I'm just talking about shooting in general. I'm not talking about every asset of the game.
I'm
talking
taking
about straight
Peja.
shooting.
I'm taking Peja.
You are?
Tages. I
I'm
got no argument with that.
I'm gonna take
I
Cat.
get no argument with that. The only thing with Bob McAdoo, again, I'm going old school. I don't need to keep on. But when they played, it was rough and tough. They went all these rule changes and all of this stuff. When you played back in the day, you earned every guy that had the hand checking rule that was allowed. There's a lot of things back in the day, and you still do what you did. Imagine what they would have done if they didn't have all the rule changes, no hand checking. You can't. I'm a referee as well, guys, so I know about all the rules. So I don't know. Hey, I'm almost through.
I feel like when Michael talks, I learned everything about his resume.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know, Mike, but every time I talk to you, man, every time I hear you talk, man, I always get your resume first, and then I get your point second.
I hate that you guys, especially you old guys, Mr. Mike, that always hand checking, how the game used to be so hard, so difficult. But coming to 2010s and 20s, it's also a completely different game. Would your guys be able to keep up with the floor completely wide open, having to be able to play from corner to corner? Would your body be able to endure? Would you be able to keep up?
Can I answer that? Can I answer that?
No, you can't, because we'll never be able to see it. Exactly like you talking about hand checking.
You asked me a question. I'm gonna keep my answer.
Go ahead.
Now think about it.
I think Bird could do it. I think Bird, what you're talking about, I think Bird was good enough to do that. I think he was quick enough.
Now think about when you're restricted as an offensive player, and to have those restrictions lifted. To answer your question, you're right. We'll never see it. Let me tell you something. My best player of all time, y'all don't know, because y'all too young. The best player I've ever seen in my life was David Thompson. Now, if you can look him up.
Skywalker.
Huh? What is that?
I said the Skywalker.
Yes. So anyway, well, I'm saying, if you think about it now, the players in the past, they had no restrictions. Now you got restrictions. So to answer your question, if they had an open court, what do you think Nick Archibald would have done? What do you think of Larry Bird? What do you think of Dr. J? What do you think Bernard King?
Mike,
I can go on and
going
on.
to go on forever because all 10 of your guys played in the paint. Of course, there's going to be hand checking. What if Dwight Howard was playing back then? The biggest, there's no way no one's stopping Dwight. LeBron, Ben Wallace. We can go on and on about the big Diesel guys we got now.
Oh, Ben Wallace was no offensive player, bro. So you got the wrong guy there.
I'm talking about him stuffed in the paint with everybody circling around him. There's nothing. He'd be like Bill Russell.
All I'm saying, to answer your question, if you widen the court and you have the players who had the physical ability that they had back in the day and even now, man, I could go on. It would be crazy. It would be crazy. Them dudes have the freedom.
Look, I think today's players can play in the old school playing because you got to remember, if you grew up in that era, you're going to play like that era. So if you take anybody from the new day and you put them back in the old school and they grew up in that time period, they're going to play because that's how they grew up. That's how they formulated it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's not like they can't do it.
That point. And we only bring that point up when we're debating MJ and LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how you grew up as to how you're going to play.
That'll take too long. That'll take too long. I ain't going there.
Oh, my gosh. The Nets are favored by 10 points tonight against the Cavaliers. I don't know why.
I'm going to say it won't be a 10-point victory.
It's the Cavaliers.
They do have the home court advantage.
Cavaliers,
but the Nets have not played together that much. Although I do think a major factor is Seth Curry. I think he's going to be able to bring out the defense. I think he's going to be a man. We all know Kyrie's going to do his thing. We know Durant's going to do his thing. Drummond needs to step up.
Obviously, I think Brooklyn's going to take that. Right now, Brooklyn owns them. I mean, Cleveland's only beat Brooklyn one time this year, so I honestly don't see how they do that.
Jared Allen's
I think Brooklyn's going to win, but it ain't going to be easy.
And that's going to be, and Ron, what you just said, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, having Jared Allen is going to be a huge problem.
Yes, everybody's back. Everybody, it's going to be a problem. I think the Nets will prevail because they have too many people. Because as you know, in the playoffs, what it comes down to is defense and foul shooting.
But hey, let me ask you guys a question though. Hey, look, they're talking about possibly having Ben Simmons come back in the first round if they get there. And I think they're going to get there. But do you think it's really prudent to bring Ben Simmons back when he hasn't played in 2 years in game time conditioning?
Yeah,
I don't know. And plus, system,
Jay, but because here's the thing, Jay. When you bring him back, because we need to this is the thing people forget. When they bring back Ben Simmons, everyone's making the assumption that he's going to have the same role he had in Philly. He's going to have a far less role.
Yeah,
and it's the point where you still have two guys. You still got two guys in front of him in the pecking order. You can even argue 3 with Seth Curry because there'd be times he'd be going off. You still got Patty Mills in the background who can go
bad boy.
Whatever.
Bad boy.
And then
you got one job. Make Jason.
I think they're talking about if they do bring him back in the first round, I think he plays 10 to 15 minutes at best a game. That's what they're talking about regulating him to. So I think he probably does okay. I'm curious to see though how he gels in with the system and things like that. Not having really played in a while.
Not played with that team at all. Not played with that team at all.
I just think they're gonna have him fill in like a role player type of.
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna have to do that because I don't think he can take on any more than that.
Well, see, that's where it gets tricky because. Again, with him not playing all year, you could make that argument. You know what I mean?
You're not going to know until he gets on the court and sees what happens.
Yeah, we won't. So, but honestly, Brooklyn with Ben Simmons back, because you got Kyrie who can give you 25 easily. KD who can give you 30. So, like that right there, you got 2 guys who just really dropping buckets.
Just give me the defense from Ben. Hey, Ben, just go out and play damn good defense.
Exactly, because at the same time, you got Seth Curry, who all of a sudden is trying to play better than Steph, right? He's right. You got Andre Drummond who fills that void that you needed in terms of interior protection, along with deep. Ben Simmons. And
I think that's what I think. If I'm the coach, that's what I'm telling Ben. Hey, Ben, we got scores. Don't worry about that. We got rebounded and Andre Drummond. Don't worry about it. I just need you to go out there and take on the defensive side of the ball and just give us that defense, and we're good.
Yeah, because if he gives us that, that'd be interesting. Someone asked, if the Nets win, can Boston win the series? If the Cavaliers win, can they eliminate the Celtics? I'll be 100% honest. The Celtics beating the Cavs easily. If I want Brooklyn though, I really do. If I'm Boston, I want Brooklyn because I need to see, is this team legit? Like the second half thing that what happened, Ron?
I said I give you guys 6 games.
I mean, me as a fan, like I need to see them against Brooklyn because I need to see like, are we legit or did we just happen to have a nice streak at the second half of the season? Like,
question: do you guys get Williams back?
No, I don't.
He won't be back then. No,
so.
He won't be back
because his meniscus
until like the second half.
Messed up.
So is he done pretty much for the rest of the year? So he won't see him in the playoffs at all.
No.
That if we make it come back, there's hope. But again, it all really comes down to because last time he got injured, there was a setback. Like every time he gets injured, there's always a setback.
Right.
So it's kind of like there's optimism, but it's with the hope that it goes swimmingly. You know
so Tice is really going to have to step up and play the bigger role.
Basically, yep. Him and Al Horford, they're gonna in conjunction. They're both gonna have to step up in conjunction because I love Time Lord. I think they both need to step up to fill that void that he's gonna leave.
Right.
But
I'm with you on that.
I want Brooklyn because again, I need to because I think in the playoffs we'll truly see what team the Celtics team is. Were they the team we saw in the first half of the season that went into the All-Star break under 500, or are we gonna see this Celtics team? One of, if not the hottest team in basketball.
And they need to be battle tested before they go up against the likes of Milwaukee or whoever else. Or even if they get to the Western Conference, they're going to have to play somebody. So you want to see what they can really do before you get your hopes up.
Personally, and that's exactly where I'm at. That's why I don't want to, you know what I mean? That's why I don't want to get my hopes up too much because if we end up, you know what I mean? Like, again, Brooklyn in 6th, yeah, that's neat and all, but we did all this work, to go 1 extra game? Like that's kind of why I'm gonna be, I mean, we're gonna have to make changes outside of.
I think it comes down to 2 things.
I'm gonna not get rid of them, so I don't care what you say.
Can Kyrie Irving create and become an actual point guard? Because Marcus Smart, our future defensive player of the year, is gonna be on his ass. So Kyrie's going to have to create and share the ball and get guys like Patty and Seth good shots. And the second thing is Jason Tatum finally ready to say, I'm better than KD.
No, no, absolutely not.
He absolutely can be.
Absolutely not.
But Ron, you want to know the thing? I think your Jason Tatum point, I think he already in his mind believes that.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't because think about it, bro. He single-handedly last year went toe-to-toe with them.
Yep.
He went toe-to-toe with KD. At times they went bucket for bucket. And without his 50 points, like his 50-point performance, we're getting swept. So I think in that second point, I think Jason Tatum himself believes like I'm better. And I don't blame him for thinking that.
I think the title may go to him, but not right now. Eventually, yes, not now. And I'm from New Bedford, Mass, outside of Boston. So I know all about the damn stuff. Well, I don't like. Probably knows I don't like this. But you gotta give credit where credit is due. So to answer your, he's close. Not yet. Not yet.
Goodbye, Jay.
All right, catch you guys later, man. Y'all be good. Michael, stop going down so many old ass rabbit holes, man. Get to the new game.
I won't get. I won't. I promise I won't.
50s.
I promise I won't.
Let me tell you how good they used to be in the 50s. What was it like to play against Dr. J? He's my idol.
You asking me?
Not Pride.
Well, experience of a lifetime. We don't have enough time to talk about it right now, but when we get an opportunity, it was. And the thing about it, I'm gonna give you guys just a little hint. You guys are too young. Do you remember when the ABA and the NBA were separated? I don't think you remember that. It was 1976. And Dr. J was with, at the time, the Nets. And they were having problems with the NBA, ABA. And do you know something? I just want to give you guys a little hint about me being a historian. Do you know the NBA will not recognize anybody's stats in the ABA? I know this. So, yeah, I check it out. I know what I'm saying. So to answer your question, it was 1976. It was going into my junior year at Bishop Stang High School. It's going to take a little long time. All I will tell you, I'll send you everything you know. I wrote an article about it, but wow, all inspiring. It was crazy. it was exceptional. And I don't know if y'all heard when he played at the Rucker. I don't know if y'all know about that. It was right after, because the ABA and the NBA he played at the Rucker. He came to New Bedford right after the Rucker. If y'all know about the Rucker, y'all need to find out. But anyway, he played at the Rucker, and he came to New Bedford through when he was at UMass. A guy by the name of Rocha, Tommy Rocha. Brought him, with a couple of businessmen, brought him down to New Bedford High. Place was packed, over 5,000 people. And y'all still there?
Yeah, I'm taking notes.
All right, I'm gonna give me 5 minutes. So what happened was, came in, and I'll send you all the pictures. Came with a gray suit, sneakers, and what he did was he had 5,000 people, and he came out and he said, "Look, I'm gonna do the fundamentals." And what he did was he proceeded to do all the fundamentals you can imagine. And the crowd was like, they weren't happy. So what happened when he said, "Look, give me the highest leaper in the building." So, of course, it wasn't me. But he said, "Give me the highest leaper in the building." A guy by the name of Gus Hart. So Gus Hart is about 6'7". He said, "Gus, do me a favor. Touch the net." I said, "What?" Hold on, listen carefully. He said, touch the net. Gus said, sure, I got this. He said, Gus, touch the backboard. Gus, I got this. He said, Gus, touch the rim. I got this. Now check this out, fellas. Now you know if I'm talking yes. He says, okay, do me a favor. What's your name? He said, Gus. He said, look, touch the net without bending your knees. He said, touch the backboard without bending your knees. Check this out, fellas. Then he goes, touch the rim without bending your knees. Try that, fellas. And Gus looked like a fool. So right after that, Doctor got 2 balls, right hand, left hand, and he did the same dunk he did in the 1976 All-Star game. Y'all can look it up. He went up with the right hand, boom, left hand, boom.
At the same time on Gus.
Huh?
Okay, he didn't dunk on Gus yet.
No, he didn't dunk on Gus. No. He dunked on me. No, he didn't dunk on Gus. So what he did then, he said, well, all right, let me get the top 5, 6 ball players in the crowd. So everybody, I'm a sophomore. Everybody put, yeah, Mike, go ahead, Mike, go ahead. I'm like, hell no, I ain't going out there. 5,000 people. I mean, we played in front of like maybe 200 in high school. There's 5,000 people. I'll show y'all. Anyway, so we all go. There's 7 of us. We all go up there, and we all go to half court. Dr. J shakes all our hands. He said, look, the game's up to 2. Hear me out now. 2. So, a guy named Dave Lato, who was the head coach of DePaul, who just recently got fired from DePaul. You can look him. Anyway, he goes first. Dr. J hits 2 jumpers against him. Bang, bang. All right. So now, another guy comes up, Kyle Stepina. 2 jumpers. He's up. And then another guy by the name of, he hits 2 shots on him. Now it's my turn. Now I'm the con man, right? So I go up, swear to God, I tell the story out. So he gets the ball. Game's to 2, fellas. So I go up. I'm guarding him, right? He takes a jump shot. It hits the back of the rim. I grab the rebound. I go to the left corner. I go and do, because back then, I had a little Earl Monroe on me. I had a little bit of spin move on me. I went and did a little spin move, left hand hook, didn't go in. He got the rebound. He had to clear it. He had to go to the foul line. So he takes another jump shot, and it hits the rim again. And it comes down. I'm right underneath the basket. I swear on my mother, I see the ball. It's come to my hand. And if you know Doc Years, his hands are like incredible. So he grabs the ball, spins around, does a 360 dunk. The whole place erupts. Standing up, everybody stands up. Boom. So I said, oh, shit. All right. Then he scored against me again. And then he blocked somebody's shot at the top of the school. So then this is what he did. So now you all believe me. He said, everybody come down. Everybody come down. Come out in a semicircle. Everybody come down. And was the foul line dunk because there's too many people. But to answer your, yes, I did have the opportunity. I mean, even though it was at New Bedford High School, I mean, I didn't actually play against him. I mean, as far as the game situation. And the same thing happened with Nate Astropaul when he came to New Bedford to dedicate a place called United Front for underprivileged kids. Came down with the Celtics. Similar situation came up. That one, I got to tell you, I know we've run out of time. That's even a better one. Because Nate came down 40 years later, and I met with Nate again after 40 years. He didn't remember me, but he remembered coming to New Bedford and performing for the Celtics. I got Paul Silas stories. Guys, I'm not trying to brag because I ain't all that, but I have so many memories that I wanted to convey to other people. And that's why I do history. That's why, I end up interviewing Sam Jones, too many guys because I love history.
Man,
All right, so I'm upset. When y'all get bored, let me. I'll talk about anybody else you want to talk about.
I got so many questions. We got to create a podcast, NBA Stories with Mike.
Oh, hey, yo, I got way more than that. I got way more. But anyway, Pride, thank you for letting me do this.
Pride, you're muted.
Oh, is it?
Oh, my bad.
Probably didn't want to hear me. Hey, but anything you want to do, because, hey, you know something? My mission is in life, I want Pride, so y'all know where I'm coming from. See how excited I am about this? Is because so many NBA players from the past and what they had to go through. I could tell you stories about Bob Cousy, how he embarrassed Bill Russell. I can tell you about Red Auerbach. I can tell you about me hanging out with Red Auerbach. I can tell you stories, and I don't even know how to lie. But I can tell you what the black man went through, and the Oscar Robertson. Don't let me go there. I can tell you stories about. So that's why when I talk to you guys, I'm coming from a different spot. I may be old school, and maybe I'm up, but my heart is there because I know what these players have gone through. I know that these players right now, if it wasn't Chris Paul and Magic Johnson, I can go on and on. These guys couldn't even pay their rent. They couldn't afford housing. This is after their career. So I come from a different spot, fellas. So when I come about basketball, it's my heart.
Back when NBA players needed a part-time job.
Thank you, sir. So I come from a different spot. So please, not accept, but please understand where I'm coming from. So I got a gift. I got so much to be able to tell people that I want to. I spoke with Sam Jones, 10-time NBA champion with Bill Russell comes to his house and the house is on fire. That's what I'm talking about, fellas. How they would win a championship, they would go to a restaurant, only the white people can go there. They had to go to another restaurant. And the guy who stopped that was Red Auerbach. Red Auerbach is Bob Cousy ain't shit. Bob Cousy. And know something? You think I'm lying? Look it up. Here's that. Why do you think Bill Russell never came back to Boston? 25 years. There's a reason. His daughter was in that house. When the house came up after they won the championship. I'm sorry. I get it.
No, that's an intense story.
I got more, but I got more. And ask anybody about me. They'll tell you I don't BS. I know. But anyway, Pride, thank you for letting me come on. Talking. Thank you. You took me on.
All right, fellas, I got our next question. Tonight, do we get playoff P or pandemic P? I'm here for pandemic P. I'm rooting for the collapse. 2 for 11, 7 points.
Who you talking about?
Paul George.
Oh, okay. Well, you know they're 5-1 since his return, and I don't have no computer. I know. Anyway, I think he's going to perform because they all know him as not playing well in the playoffs, just like James Harden. I think that he'll come through. I think Ty Lue has done a great job with them. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not sure, but I think he's going to be okay.
You ever been in a group chat that's just so immature that you can't take them serious? That's where I'm at right now. I can't take these dudes, and they older than me, and I can't take them serious, Ronald. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. I can't stand them. Frank, I hate you with a passion. Just throwing it out there.
Pride, you hate me too. So.
No, I don't hate you. No, I don't hate you.
If you hate somebody, it's because you love them.
No.
Well, if you hated me, I wouldn't be on the show. So you know what I mean? I gotta look at it that way.
No. Hate don't step. No, bro. Mm-mm. It's not because you love them, bro. Nah, just because they piece of shit. Oh, my bad, Ron. I think I'm drunk. I think so. Probably. We'll find out in like 30 minutes. And to answer your question about, I don't know, because I close my eyes and I can see Paul George dropping 40. I can see him dropping an efficient 40, playing great defense, all that stuff. But then I close my eyes again, and I can see him go 2 for 11. Like that's the weird thing about Paul George, where I gotta pick one. Can I be in between, or do I have to pick one extreme or the other?
One.
Okay. I'm gonna say he drops 30.
Yep, I'm with you.
I'm gonna say 30. It's not, but to balance it out, it's not gonna be an impressive 30. You know, I think he'll struggle, but I think he drops 30. I'll say the Clippers win. Question mark?
If he drops 30, Clippers win.
But I don't know about that, because the thing is, look, if he drops 30, taking 47 shots, I don't know, Chief. 2 for 11.
Sam said he won 2
about
and
Paul
11.
George. That's the weird thing about Paul George. Like, how is he gonna look at this game? Is he gonna look at it as like a regular season game? Because if he is, dude gonna drop 50. He gonna, you know what I mean? He gonna look phenomenal. But then if he goes, oh wait, playoffs, like then he gonna have PTSD. He gonna start shaking, and next thing you know, the dude gonna, you know, he gonna go out there and drop a goose egg. So I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna say 30. It's gonna be kind of inefficient but passable, where you can go, all right, nothing spectacular, but you know, whatever. Sam says if he scores 30, he goes 4 for 18 and gets the rest at the line.
One thing I gotta say, interject, fellas. How many games did he miss?
Paul George?
30?
No, less than that. No, because didn't he go down in the beginning of the season?
Yeah.
Came back and then went down again.
Oh man,
he missed a lot. Hold on, I'm about to double check that real quick.
I'm gonna say because guess what? Because he has not had the rigors of the whole NBA season, he gonna come in fresh, ready to roll, fresh legs.
He only
Watch
played
out.
31
That's what I'm
games.
telling y'all right now.
He
Watch.
should-
He got fresh
sounds like
legs.
he's the best player on the floor.
Bro, he only played 31 games.
See, he's gonna be fresh, dog. Y'all better listen to the comments.
I'm not. Nope. Nope. I'm not falling for that trap. Because his fresh is everyone else's expired milk. Nope. I'm not falling for that trap. I ain't falling. Not with Paul George.
Tomorrow on the net.
Not
What?
with Paul George. I don't know about Paul George, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I listen, for LeBron, I'll use that. For Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Kyrie, those guys, I'll use it. For Paul George,
What makes him different?
because he chokes badly. Notice how they put James Harden in that.
I know that.
Notice that. I just want to clarify that.
I know that.
Notice how I think James Harden in there. For me, it's just I don't trust him. I don't trust him. I don't. I know, but I'm okay. I'm gonna go with the Clippers. I'm gonna go Clippers.
Whoa.
I'm gonna go Clippers. And honestly, it has a lot to do with just everyone else around who's very respectable, very solid. And also, if I'm mistaken, I think Ty Lue, even without Paul George, he still got them still got them over 500.
All right, now, hey, Pryor, I'm gonna get you mad. Where's the game being played?
If I ain't mistaken, it's going to be played in Minnesota. If I'm mistaken.
Oh.
Yep, it's at Minnesota.
Oh boy. I don't know.
But then here's the thing, though. Like, this is the first Sam. What's up, Brody?
What's going on?
What up, Brody?
This is the first time, really, Timberwolves can even spell the word playoffs. in a while. So it's like, I don't know. Is Karl Anthony Towns going to be like a bigger version of Paul George? I love Karl Anthony Towns. I love him. That's my guy. You know what I mean? If I could, I'd give him a hug. But
I want to know what effect Patrick Beverly has. Because you know him. He's got some trouble and he has revenge. I wonder what kind of role he's going to play.
The role of a chihuahua.
basically,
Yep.
you're not going to look for him for points. You're just going to look for him to go at Paul George and just annoy him.
Yep.
Kind of the same thing what he did when KD was in Golden State and they put Patrick Beverly on him. They knew he couldn't defend him, but they knew he was going to get in his head.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I think that, I mean, because if you take that away from him, Patrick Beverly brings nothing to the table. You take that away from him, he's just me with longer hair. That's all he really is. Like he really doesn't. It's just the way he barks and his ability to get under people's skin is what makes him. I don't want to say a commodity, but it's kind of what makes people at the bare minimum take a look at him.
Well, if he didn't spit on Chris Paul, he'd still remember that.
Sam, am I not giving Patrick Beverly enough credit?
I'm sorry, I only caught about half of that because I stepped away to grab my water.
So long story short, Michael asked, what role would Patrick Beverly play? And I said, the generic role he usually plays, the irritant on defense who just chats, get in people's head, that type of stuff. And I said, without that, nobody would want him. He's like me with longer hair. He doesn't really bring anything to the table. Am I being too hard on him?
Yes. How has he survived all these many years?
Yeah, a little, I think.
You think I'm being?
I think he can hit an occasional shot that means something.
Yeah.
He's not going to be relied on necessarily to be the guy.
You don't need to.
Right, but he can hit a shot. Sure. I mean, but I wouldn't say that he's extremely valuable other than
No, I'm not.
his smack talk and an occasional shot. Is that fair to say?
He's a supreme irritator.
I don't know.
That gets that gets some credit. Yeah, I mean that he can irritate the defender or who he's defending. So that's a legit, plus for him. I mean, it's not a big plus, but it's still a big enough plus that there is some value to him. Am I wrong? I'll
be honest. I'll be 100% honest. I think you are.
Okay.
And the only reason is because when it comes to Patrick Beverly, and I've said this before, like defensively, he's solid. But I don't know. In my opinion, I don't like Patrick Beverly like that. Like this whole thing he's gotten, this entire reputation he got. Oh man, he's dangerous and all this stuff. I never understood it. I've seen him get
dangerous.
Cooked. No, I'm talking about defensively. I'm talking about defensively.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's got that reputation as like a pit bull that if you let him go, he goes out there and does this stuff. I've never in my life seen it. I've never, and I've looked at it from like 18 different angles. Maybe there's a 19th. I gotta go to another dimension to see, perhaps, but I personally don't see it. And I think that if you give him the personality of a Eric Gordon, like that kind of quiet type of thing.
Yeah.
Like I wholeheartedly believe that if he doesn't have that, he's not in the NBA. That's just that's just how I look at it. Because you see the occasional shot, it's not enough. Like Ricky Rubio, before he developed a respectable jump shot, he gave you an occasional shot. The difference was he brought you so much in terms of orchestrating an offense that you felt like you needed to keep him. So he gave you more than just an occasional shot. So if you take that away from him, he still brought you more to the table. I feel like with Patrick Beverly, and again, maybe it's just me. But I think Russ was onto something when he said a few years ago, he just runs around and screams and he's tricking y'all thinking y'all play defense. At the time, people thought Russ was being butthurt about it because he just played them and they hate each other and all that nonsense. So But for me, I don't know. It's just when Russ said that, I was like, it's weird because I was thinking about that, but I thought I was crazy. Then Russ said it, and I took a step back because I was like, hold on now. Russ just played him. They hate each other. You know what I mean? So is he being legit, or is Russ kind of just taking a shot? I didn't know. But man, just the more I look at it, he'll say stuff like, yeah, I locked him up. And then I'm looking at the box score, and he got 50 dropped on his head. And I'm like,
They kept him from 60.
They dropped an efficient 50 on his head, and he's like, "Yeah, I stopped him." I'm like, "Bro, you stopped your team from winning. What do you mean you did this?" Like, so that's just me. Now again, he's ugly, so maybe that's why I hate him. You know
Well, yeah, he's definitely not getting no goddamn fashion awards.
You know
But you know, some pride.
But
But I think,
I think us ugly people, we're like women. When we see one, we hate them. That's just how it is.
well,
You know?
I don't hate you, bro. But hey, what I'm saying though, right, is
I'm ugly, and when I see another ugly guy, I get mad at him, and I hate him.
that's not what your fiance says. So we'll leave that alone. But what I'm trying to tell you,
Yeah, she can't leave me. I knocked her up on purpose. She tried to get off, and I wrapped my legs around her. She stuck.
hey, that's a whole nother show. But what I'm trying to say, fellas, is when Jimmy Butler was in Minnesota, what did he say? He said they were soft. He said Wiggins was soft. Cat was soft. Now they got a pit bull. Now, every team needs a kind of a pit bull. You got Miami now with the paper Milwaukee there. He's with them now. Every team needs like that pit bull. So I think he supplies that pit bull for Minnesota because they've always been claimed as being soft.
But were they really soft though?
I don't think so. I don't.
Because I don't like when people say that they're being soft.
I don't think they were.
I don't think they were. But I don't know. Then again, ever since he came in the league, I've been screaming free cat. So I think when it comes to this subject, I might be biased. I might be very biased because again, I've been screaming free Karl-Anthony Towns. I love him. But I don't know. I don't think the Pelicans are in the play, and that's ridiculous. I will never let that.
I don't know how that happened. I don't even know that.
I will never in my life
The
let that
Lakers,
go.
even though we're not allowed to bring them back up.
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the San Antonio Spurs. What the fuck? God bless them. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, no, these. Wow. Hey, yo, the East is lit now. 1 through 10. Everybody 1 through 10 has a record over 500.
First time in like over a decade.
Wow. What a poverty conference. Imagine not even being able to be under 500. Could never be us. Could never be the Boston Celtics. Could never be us. We're just too great. We're phenomenal, bro. We're sweeping the East. Fuck it. We'll do it live. We're sweeping the East. Sam, what's your team? Swept.
None of the
Michael,
above.
what's your team? 4-0. Ron, what's your team? Get him out of here.
We'll be in the conference.
Watch me say that, and then Cleveland wins, and then we get swept by Cleveland. Just because I decided to open my mouth. Watch, that's gonna end up happening.
Poetic justice.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna stand there. I'm just gonna be like, okay, yep. Everyone's gonna say their jokes. I'm gonna say, you know what? I deserve it. 110%, I deserve it. But I want to talk about Adam Schefter because we haven't had an opportunity to talk about that. I don't know if y'all saw.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if y'all saw the apology that he tweeted. Bless his heart, man. God bless him. God bless him. My guy thought, hey, yo, if I hide my head under a rock long enough, people will forget about it. And like, nah, it didn't work. It didn't work. As a matter of fact, people are more mad that he didn't apologize in the initial tweet. Sam, let me ask you a question because I'm going to ask a question that honestly no one is asking. Is it possible that people are being dramatic about the entire situation?
You want me to be truthful on this?
110% truthful.
Yes, I do think that. Here's the timing that Adam Schefter, and I think that it's just when he announced that Dwayne Haskins had died, then he mentioned that he struggled in Washington and Pittsburgh, correct?
Yes.
Is that what the whole thing is over?
Yes,
Okay.
because they're saying that he's. I guess people are on Twitter were like that was extremely disrespectful. What's the point of saying that and stuff like that? So.
Okay, so you only get so many characters with Twitter, correct? What is that, 160 or something like that? 240.
Yeah.
240. Okay.
Oh, there's 240 now?
I think so, yes.
And as much shit as I talk, it's still not enough.
You're still adding tweets to it?
I've been doing full threads.
I believe it. I believe that.
Well, and I'm not at all making excuses. It was very poorly timed in my mind, but at the same time, he wasn't wrong. So, it's documented that he did struggle in Washington, and he was having a redemptive story coming back to Pittsburgh, and maybe that's what he wanted to continue with. Should have continued with a second tweet saying, but he had turned things around, kind of. Right. So there are things he could have done better, and maybe not mention that in the tweet announcing the passing. I could understand that upsetness, right. But at the same time, he wasn't wrong about Dwayne Haskins. He did struggle in Washington after a standout year and career at Ohio State,
which he mentioned in the tweet. I mean, I think
correct.
So it's not like I have mixed emotions about it. Because
I don't damn anybody that feels emotional about it.
No, I don't either.
But at the same time, I also personally don't think I think it's been a little bit blown out of proportion.
Because like I said, I have mixed emotions on this because when a guy passes away, we got someone taking a nap. Wake up, still sleeping.
It ain't me.
But I have mixed emotions on this, Ron, because you look like you about to rip my head off. What I'm about to say, but I promise I'm gonna give you the floor. But I will say this: I do believe that a lot of people, honestly, aren't mad about the tweet. I think they're mad at Adam Schefter because this dude has been stumbling, especially in recent months. Like the last, he's been stumbling a little bit. You know what I mean? With the investigation that it came out that, he basically was like, there were certain stories that he was supposed to release and they kind of was hushing him out and things like that. So I just think it's an entire wave that's coming in on Adam Schefter right now.
Okay.
So,
well, and see, I wasn't familiar with any of that backstory. So maybe there's a little bit more validity to it. I can see that, but on its face, that one tweet, it was ill-timed if he's mentioning it maybe in the tweet announcing he's passing, but it's a true statement at the same time.
Right. And so this is kind of said, this is some of the things he said within the last year. So with the whole Dalvin Cook domestic violence situation, he misrepresented Dalvin Cook to the point that it basically seemed like he was in essence accusing Dalvin Cook. He was basically condemning him and calling him guilty. The entire Aaron Rodgers situation when he said he was immunized, it later came out that Adam Schefter was one of the guys who knew that Aaron Rodgers was basically not being truthful, but didn't say anything. It's still kind of weird because that's basically where it breaks off to some people think it was the NFL who told him to be quiet. Other people thought it was the Packers. Some people think it was Rodgers himself. But regardless, he kind of was quiet on that.
And since that brings in integrity then. So then
right,
yes,
exactly.
I do look at his tweet then about Dwayne Haskins as being out of bounds. Now, it still's gone longer than it should. I mean,
So that's kind of like for me is why it's kind of awkward for me, right? Because if you're looking at the tweet in and of itself, is it an insensitive tweet? Yes, it is, right? Mm-hmm. But where it kind of gets kind of finicky is when you start looking and you start kind of going back and you start like when you start realizing like, damn, this dude really kind of didn't mess up a lot. And again, those are just in the last year, right? The whole the Deshaun Watson situation. He sent out a series of tweets where he in essence was like, they're lying, all this stuff. So it's this weird situation where, was it an insensitive tweet? Yeah. Should he have said it differently? Sure. I'm not sure how to feel about it because, again, with his history,
Right.
it's like you've been doing, you've been at best questionable, at worst idiotic and downright negligent. Like, so it's this weird line that, frankly, I don't know what side to fall on. I really don't, because again, I genuinely believe this. If it was who's the other dude? I forgot his name. The other one who tweets stuff, football stuff, not Adam Schefter. He's the other one that's on ESPN.
You're talking about like Todd
Ian Rappaport. That's him.
Oh,
Ian
okay,
Rappaport.
yeah.
Oh,
If
okay, yeah.
Ian Rappaport had did that same tweet, I don't think anyone cares. I don't think anyone says anything. I don't think that people get upset. I genuinely don't. I think what happens.
So because of
I think it's
the person
Adam's-
putting it out, that's
with his
what
history,
the uproar is, right?
Right. That's just what I believe it is. I think because of his history with, in essence, like I said, at worst, just like at best, it's insensitive, and at worst, idiotic and downright negligent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's weird because, like I said, if Ian Rappaport did that, I don't think anyone's screaming. I don't think anyone's making a fuss. I think they retweeted saying "rip" or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, basically, my confusion is, what is everyone mad about? Are we mad at the tweet or are we mad at the guy who sent it? Because we need to figure out, we need to differentiate it. Because a lot of people are saying that ESPN should fire Adam Schefter. And I'm like, well, let's have this if we're going to have this conversation, we need to figure out where this anger is rooted from. You know what I mean? Like, if you're mad about that one tweet, I mean, get over it. You know what I mean? I tweet Kobe's overrated all the time. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm living my best life, right? But like, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. Me personally, I just feel like, and Ron, maybe you look at it differently, bro, but I just feel like it's because it's Adam Schefter with his history. I feel like that's what's making people upset and not the actual tweet in and of itself.
And can I add something before Ron jumps in here? Sorry, Ron. I know this kind of prefaces something kind of along the lines of what you're saying. I wasn't familiar with the history, so I only took that tweet at face value. So it could have been from anybody. Ian Rappaport, there might not be that uproar. I didn't know the history of it, so therefore I couldn't. That's why that's why I kind of hesitated when you asked, because I don't know enough about it. But if you're going to ask me on face value, that's what I saw was it was insensitive in the timing, but it was a true statement, I guess. So, Ron, I apologize. I didn't mean to cut in before you got your piece.
Oh, I didn't even have anything to say.
Oh, okay. Well, Pride made it seem like you did.
I know where you're from.
But I mean, I didn't know that history that it had been. I just have never really followed Schefter on Twitter. Anytime I saw him, I was watching SportsCenter or whatever type of ESPN, and I never really saw those tweets or that history, forming habit. That I just didn't know that part. So,
guys, can I give you guys a little bit of update? It might have an effect on tonight's game. 5 people just got shot outside the Barclays Center, 2 miles away from the Barclays Center. And
Ron, that's so disrespectful.
Huh?
No, who got shot? I didn't hear.
No, just randoms.
Oh,
and yeah, it was no players, but It may have an effect on tonight's game. I don't know all that yet, but I just wanted to update you all that 5 people got shot outside the Barclays Center not too long ago. So just letting y'all know. Update.
Kind of makes me not want to go to any NBA games.
Oh man.
But no players. No players. No players.
I don't know, man.
Ben Simmons, pain-free progress with back, fueling hope he can return. I'm just giving you updates, fellas.
Tonight.
Update. Is he going to play? I hope not, but that's what he's saying.
Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. Franklin, knock it off. Knock it off, Franklin. Oh man. God have mercy on my wretched soul. Forgive me for I have sinned. Bro. Did you know how many people unfollow Adam Schefter ever since that thing?
A lot.
Dude,
Getting over $5 million a year. He's getting paid.
He lost so much, and he lost so much, and then now people are upset with how he's apologizing because this right here, I think, is a little disingenuous. So he tweets, "Here's my apology," and he linked it to his podcast. So he basically wants people to listen to this podcast, and there's some people, I haven't listened to it, so I don't know, but some people are saying that the apology is actually the last thing he says. So you have to watch the entire episode. That he apologized at the end of it. Now, I don't know if that's true. If it is, Adam Schefter's a brave man. Adam Schefter is a brave man.
Is that kind of, if that's true, is that kind of him saying I'm only doing this so I don't get fined? You know, like the Marshawn Lynch, I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Because before all this, he had like 10 million followers. Now he's at like 9.4. And people are still unfollowing him. So
Wow.
It's like I don't. Bless his heart. Bro. Bless his heart.
Sad.
Jay, I hate you with a passion, Jay McLovin. So go stub your toe. They're talking shit. They're saying if my afro gets any bigger, my headphones are gonna pop off. But guess what? Look. Adjustable.
Still got more room.
Adjustable.
I love it.
Still got more room.
Adjustable.
I love it.
Oh my God. So Nathaniel said I listened to it. That's sort of true. What a guy. What a guy. And see, that's the type of conviction men need to have. When we get caught cheating, be Adam Schefter.
Well, he essentially said sorry, not sorry. I mean,
he literally, he basically said, I'm apologizing, but I don't mean it. Like I'm saying sorry, so you guys leave me alone. Like I said sorry, come back and follow me. Like,
yeah, it seems that way.
How many followers does Ian Rappaport have? Hold on. Ian Rappaport looks like he has an allergic reaction all the time. So he got 3.3 million.
Well, he's more laid back. He's more laid
it's
back.
up 600,000 in the past few days.
He's laid back.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get a lot. He's gonna pick up a lot of steam from this, bro. I like Ian Rappaport.
Hey, but fellas, at the end of the day, if you bring in the money, you're gonna be. Look how many people hate Stephen A. Smith. Look how good he's doing. So, you know what I'm saying? So you bring in the money. Look at it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. The only thing that isn't true is you don't have to listen to the whole episode to listen to the apology. So does he timestamp it? Because if he timestamps it, then okay, fine. Then I'll be okay with it.
It would be more of a An
of a
FU,
dick move.
right there.
You're right, yeah. Because I just feel like just listening to it, I feel like I just got uppercutted in the nuts, and I'm just like, and then he's just like, my bad. Like, wow. I really hope.
Yeah, let's move on, right? Yeah, let's move on.
I really hope he bookmarked it, because if he didn't do that, that'd be crazy. I know.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I did not know about him. I didn't know that. So I'm Carv's God. He's usually like on point. That's why he's lasted so long. That's why he has the insight and the contacts to be able to do what he does. But this may mess that up. You never know.
So because someone said, do we really hate Stephen A? Listen, for me, Stephen A the person, I don't hate. I don't hate him. I don't hate the person. Some of the stuff he says, though, makes me question him. Like, for example, him coming at Kyrie and saying that he was being selfish and whatnot.
Yeah.
That was like my only thing with Kyrie was like, because in the beginning, he didn't want to take the vaccine, but then he wanted things done his way. And my only thing was, look, if you're not gonna follow the protocol, understand something, you're gonna have to follow whatever rules, whatever stipulations, whatever regulations that come of it. You're gonna have to follow it. That was the only thing that was the only issue. Stephen A made it different. Like when he would talk about it, it was personal. By the way, we now have confirmation he did indeed timestamp it.
Okay, so it's less of one now.
So it still hurts. It still hurts, but I'm okay.
I still have to give you a listen,
right,
in order to hear it.
But at least I'm not doing the whole thing.
But at least I don't have to listen.
Right. So in his mind, it's like it's the best of both worlds. I get to listen and you get your apology. And it's like, well, bless his heart. But for Stephen A, I don't know. For me, some of the stuff he says is weird. Very weird. So I don't hate Stephen A. I just think sometimes he forgets that he's talking about sports sometimes. And I feel like, all right. I just had to give my son the stare because this little dude's out of control. But I feel like sometimes Stephen A kind of he forgets that this is ESPN. I think he forgets that sometimes. You know what I mean? And like he tries to act as if like in terms of morality, he can you know what I mean? He can kind of based on if a guy misses a shot or something, he could try to dictate, the guy's morality. I feel like he gets lost in that sometimes. Now, do I hate him? No. But I will say this lately, because I've been seeing tweets on it, because I don't watch the show anymore. I've been seeing tweets. He looks burnt out. He needs to go take like 3 months off. Just go do something other than this.
Go learn to like, I don't know, body surf or whatever.
Yeah.
But Pride, but a couple things, I'm going to disagree with you, as I always do. I think he knows he's on ESPN, and that's what generates his money. That's why he gets almost $13 million a year. And as far as him being burnt out, he got the First Take. He got Stephen A. Smith, whatever the show is after at 5 o'clock. He does NBA Countdown. He's writing the book. He's doing all kind of crazy things to generate money. And guess what? Not all people, a lot of people who make that kind of money think that their stuff don't stink and they can say whatever they want. And I think he's growing into that category because he's a brand. He's a brand now. You agree?
With him being a brand, yeah, he's starting to become one if he isn't already,
right?
Because you know what the whole thing. But I don't know. But I say why I say he forgets he's on ESPN sometimes is like the stuff he says isn't sports. Like again, if a guy misses a shot, you see, this is why he should have. And it's like, dude, relax. He missed a shot. You're gonna see him play again in like 2 days. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It's for
Is this
me.
comparative
It's just
kind of how Jim Rome progressed to where
Good point.
so
Good point.
annoying.
Here we go.
got so
Good
annoying that people stopped listening to him?
yes,
And
Yes.
Stephen A is getting to that point.
he's starting to get there. He's starting.
He
to
might
get there.
still have some time, but
yeah, he's got some time, but
it's
yeah,
getting close.
it's getting back. Because if I'm mistaken, wasn't Jim Rome was calling that dude Chris Everett? Yeah, I think he called Jim Everett Chris Everett.
Jim, and he laid him out.
Yeah, and he was like, I bet you will do that
All
again.
right.
He goes, like, man, I will. He was like, we got a whole semi. He was like, I'll milk you. And he started leaning back, and I was like, he's like, I bet you won't do it again. He goes, Chris. And then Jim Everett just starts getting, oh my God.
Now, one thing, fellas, about Stephen A. Smith. Who were his last two co-hosts who he got rid of?
He didn't get rid of Skip.
He didn't?
No.
Okay.
No. Nah, Skip.
Okay.
Skip.
Okay.
He's wanted to go to Fox, but like they never had the sports thing down. Like they never really kind of had the whole sports thing ironed out, which is why he would chill at ESPN, because it's either you chill at ESPN or go, to another little, I don't want to say unknown or no-name place, but at the time, ESPN was the biggest place. So
And
that's
Skip
why
did well. Skip's doing well. Skip
he
did very
did
well.
well, yeah, but as soon as, which is why when Fox started doing their Fox Sports thing, and they were like, yo, we want to do a show, that's why they reached out to Skip Bayless, because a lot of people don't remember. Yeah, I think it was the last contract or the second to last contract that Skip signed with ESPN. He went to Fox and pitched the idea of Undisputed. I can't remember what he called it. He called it something different, but he pitched the idea, and he's basically was like, it'll be a version of First Take or whatever. They didn't have the stuff to like have it all set or whatever, which is why he flew back to Bristol and basically re-up with ESPN. You know what I mean?
But probably, why did Skip get removed from ESPN? You know why?
He didn't get removed. He wanted to leave.
Oh, you are wrong. You are wrong. I get Pride, man. Listen to your boy. Were you listening? He made unusual remarks against the, I guess, minorities. Look it up. That's why he got removed. He made very severe comments, and that's why he got the boot. For real. Look it
Come
up.
on, Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless.
Yes. Yes. No. I apologize. Colin Coward, whatever his name is. It was him, not Skip. Yeah, I'm wrong.
Oh yeah,
It was not Skip.
Colin left ESPN. Yeah, he was the one who got kicked off.
I was wrong. I apologize. I'm
I
wrong.
was saying so.
Hey, I get dementia. I'm old now. I get back.
Colin Coward was saying some weird stuff, but I'm not even gonna touch on him. But Skip left because he always wanted to go to Fox or whatever, so he ended up going there. Now
You're right.
Max Kellerman situation is what confuses me.
My
Because
apology.
he says,
You're right.
Skip says, yeah, I didn't want to work with him, but not because I don't like him, because he was too good to be here, something like that. Which
You're right.
I don't know. That doesn't sound right. Like you the guy's good, but you don't want to work with him because he's too good. I don't know. That never made sense to me.
So what about Max?
No, that Max. That's what I'm saying. That Max one is just why I'm confused at, because Stephen A says, "Oh, he was too good. That's why I didn't want to work with him."
Are you
weird?
I didn't hear that. Wow.
Yeah, no. After Max left, he went on a show, and they basically asked him, "Was it your decision to get rid of Max?" He said, "Yes," and he said, "It's not because I don't like him. It's he's too good to be here and needs to spread his wings." Basically, something like that, which doesn't make sense at all. Because not only was First Take kind of established, but at the same time, he needed Max. Like, let's just get that out the way. He needed Max because now you got,
Especially now, right? Especially now.
You know what I mean? Now you got to revolve it with that dude. What's his name? Mad Dog, something like that.
Oh, Mad Dog, yeah, Mad Dog from New York.
Oh, that dude.
And then he got my boy from Duke, Jay Williams. He got
and they be having JJ Redick on sometimes.
JJ Redick. He got my boy Dallas Cowboys, wide receiver there. You got him
I
on
don't
in
know.
football season.
I just don't, because last time I heard their things was plummeted. So God bless them. God bless them. Final topic before we sign off. Something that not a lot of people, me being included, are kind of shocked in. Jimmy G and Baker Mayfield are still with their respective teams. Why? God knows. Well, I think I know why about Baker. Jimmy G, I don't know. Sam, I want to start with you because I want to start on the Jimmy G side first. I've been saying this. Trey Lance isn't ready. Everyone gets mad at me. They bitch and they moan and they cry and they go, how do you know? And I always say the same thing. If he was ready, they would have played him. The Patriots didn't wait for Mac Jones. Jags didn't wait for Trevor Lawrence. Bears did not wait for Justin Fields. They just sent him out. They're not doing it with Trey Lance. And and to be honest, they use Trey Lance a little bit how the Saints use Taysom Hill. So that right there, in my eyes, is a huge red flag. Jimmy G not being traded. Is this a bad sign for Trey Lance, or do you think the Niners are just still evaluating their options properly?
More towards B, because here's what I'm thinking is they know they have a quarterback in waiting, Trey Lance.
Yeah.
They also have a quarterback who has been very serviceable, good at times, but then also struggled at times. So a pretty decent, good quarterback. What's in the draft?
Well,
Not
according
much.
to some people, Malik Willis is
Like
great.
two or three quarterbacks, I guess.
So here's
Willis?
what I'm guessing. Here's what I'm guessing. After the first round of the draft, if the Niners haven't gotten an offer for Garoppolo that is just so enticing to take, they hold on to him till next year or through next year, and tell him, look, you're going to be our starter. There will be, Trey Lance will get some reps so he can start learning the offense. And if we can trade you by the deadline, we will, but no promises. You know what I mean? I don't, because teams that are looking for quarterbacks aren't going to find. There's a small chance they'll find a franchise quarterback with this draft class. It's just it's so light, So if they don't get the ones that are considered the elite quarterbacks in the draft in the first round or second round or whatever, they may try to get Jimmy Garoppolo. At least for a year, trade for 1 year service of him. But the Niners don't have to either,
Yeah, well, I think they do. I think they have to.
Well,
what
I'm saying at the end of the day, if they don't get the offer that they felt,
no, yeah, you're talking about
him?
No.
You
The only
keep
reason
him.
I'm saying they kind of have to is like Jimmy G doesn't want to be there. He said I don't want to be here. You guys have been trying to get rid of him for what, 2.5 years now?
But that's why I'm saying if they just talk to him and say, look, we tried, we didn't get what we thought was fair for you, so we're going to hold on to you and I'll try, we'll try to trade you by the deadline, and just go into the season starting unless you can find that offer that's good for him. I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably way wrong. I'm not even saying that I'm. It just that's what goes into my head about
right. No,
what
so
they're thinking.
So you're basically saying that like you're not really mad that he didn't get traded because as of now the Niners have all the leverage. If you want to keep him, you can because you're at this point you're looking at it as like a good side because you're still giving Trey Lance another year to get familiar, and to get him comfortable and all that.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. Michael, do you agree?
I was just watching something on ESPN, although y'all may not like that. They have projected 2 picks, quarterbacks, to be picked within the first 40 draft picks, Pickett and Willis. And they have Detroit projected to get Willis and whoever to get Pickett. So now it comes down to, fellas, one player contract is guaranteed. The other one is not. So what I mean is Mayfield's contract is guaranteed. They're gonna pay him. Garoppolo, they can get rid of him. I think they're waiting because it's going to go 19 million against the cap. So I think they're waiting to see what they can do within the draft as far as moving up, moving down, whatever they can do. I'm not a football guy like you guys are, but what I see is I look at it from the business side of it, and I think Lance, you gotta give him a shot. You gotta give him an opportunity. And if you get rid of Garoppolo, you save 19 million, which you can add to an offensive line, another backup quarterback, or a defensive line, whatever y'all need. So I don't know. I mean, how long do you have to wait for Lance to find out if he's legit? How long?
Well,
And if you free up money to get others.
Pride and I have talked about this a little bit just from the aspect of, Aaron Rodgers is, while he has his major flaws, he benefited greatly from spending most of his rookie contract under Brett Favre. He was able to learn the system, learn from Favre. So that I think that's what kind of one of those things that if you can't get the exact package that you want traded for Garoppolo, you keep him one more year, talk to him, give him a little bit of a bonus or something to make him happy, and let Trey Lance play another year underneath him and develop even more to the speed.
I agree. I agree with that.
Things. But if you get the package you want, trade him. Trey Lance can go
do whatever.
To where?
Out. Yeah, just do whatever.
To where?
No, I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know
Miami, the Giants. Well,
Miami.
Miami would potentially do it. Maybe Houston.
Ooh,
I'm trying to think who else. Actually, Seattle.
Ooh,
okay. For him, but it's really along the lines of what they want to actually go through with it in terms of, again, you have a guy who's going to be on his last year. If we trade for him, not only do we have to love him head over heels, but B, at the same time, we need to make sure that before he even takes a plane here, he already agreed to an extension so we can keep him past this is the final year of his contract.
Good. Yep. Good point.
I think a lot of stuff for Jimmy G is kind of in play. Before we take off, Baker Mayfield. Now, this is my take on it. If I'm crazy, let me know. I think the Cleveland Browns are going to head into the regular season with Baker Mayfield. The longer I think about it, the more I actually believe Deshaun Watson is going to get suspended for about 6 games. And if that happens, they're basically going to give Baker the start for those six games or 4 games or however long Deshaun Watson gets suspended. They're going to give him the start, and then right after that, the door hits you with the good Lord split you.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. We don't know what the suspension is going to be, 4, 6, 8, 10, whatever. And he still got other lawsuits against him, so we don't know how that's going to turn out. And I have to agree with you. You want to keep somebody who already has the presence, and I think he will be there for like 6, 10, whatever, until my man's ready to play, if he's ready to play, if he even gets back in the NFL.
Think about what that provides Baker Mayfield. It gives him the ultimate resume, basically, active resume for potential suitors. If he has a crap sandwich of a season, then he doesn't have many suitors. But if he lights out on fire and absolutely just, MVP style, and I'm not saying he will, but he does. He's not a horrid quarterback enough to where you couldn't see him being pretty damn good for a season.
And he's going to be healthy. He's going to be healthy.
If he could, and he can, if he can stay healthy, and he has a really good season, he's going to have potentially 6, 7 teams that might be trying to trade for him.
Absolutely correct. Yes.
So he gets the ultimate tryout.
Yeah.
And again, like you said, to touch your point on it being the ultimate tryout, again, even if he's just okay,
Yeah.
teams will basically tell themselves, "Hey, look, he's disgruntled. Look how they did him. What other quarterback would be able to be in that position?
We can change him if he comes here."
So it's like he doesn't have to do an MVP style tear. He just needs to do enough where it's like he's not a detriment. We'll take him.
But I'm just saying that I wouldn't be shocked because he is talented enough. He could have an MVP style ish, like the fringe argument of, well, Baker Mayfield's been pretty good this season.
Hey,
like,
right.
you know, with that to where you're like, wow, you know,
Yep.
I could see that being a possibility if, and you said it, that it all depends on if and how long Watson gets suspended.
Right, because and to me that's basically
correct.
That's like the coup de grace of the entire situation.
That's it. That's it.
NFL, if the NFL basically comes out tomorrow and says, "Look, we're not going to suspend him; it's closed," then Baker's gone before training camp.
Oh, he'll be a draft day deal.
100%. He'll be gone like that.
He'll be the same. He'll be the same kind of trade deal that I was saying in Garoppolo. You don't have to trade him if you don't want to, but what?
Right. Exactly. So it's like, and if I'm mistaken, this is the final year of his deal. So,
so both of them are in walk years. Even I mean, they mirror each other pretty well in their setup.
To be honest, yeah, because they're both in the final year, right? Whoever trades them is going to want to try to, at the bare minimum, get a conversation rolling on an extension,
or even if it's a 2-year extension, just so they know they've got a couple more years.
Exactly, and it doesn't have to be that crazy because after those 2 years, you can just rip up that contract and give them another one, right? Or let them play out those 2 years and then give them like another extension,
right?
So with all that stuff going on, it's like, just like the longer they keep on to Baker Mayfield, the more it makes me think that they understand and they know Deshaun's going to get suspended.
So you're saying it's going to be like the first time in a decade that the Browns thought about something?
2 decades.
two decades since they come back? Yeah. Okay.
No, less than that because they did think about throwing games.
Well, blind squirrel finds a nut.
You're right. Yeah. Listen. A broken clock is right twice.
I like that.
That's right.
So, so we're good. But for me, I don't know. Like, and maybe it's just me, but the longer they keep Baker, the more I think they're going to end up just keeping him and then trading him afterwards, which again could be the best thing for the Browns because we've seen Baker get hot, right? And if he's hot, boom. And if he's not, you still have that built-in excuse that, hey, look, he doesn't even want to be here anymore. He's only playing like this because he's upset. Imagine if he went to Miami and he was happy with you guys. Seattle, happy with you guys. Imagine if he went anywhere else and was happy with you guys. Don't you think that'd make a difference? So I think Cleveland is in a situation where you can kind of pitch it either way.
You know who Cleveland needs to get a hold of that when that day arrives that they've got to get rid of Baker Mayfield? They need to contact Detroit. They always seem unhappy with their starting quarterback. They don't realize it's them. They realize that their quarterback sucks, at least according to them they do. So send Baker there and it'll just be 4 more years of that.
Well, Detroit has the second pick, right?
Yeah, but they'll take a wide receiver. That's just what they do.
Bro,
man.
They're going for Kenny Pickett. Watch, bro. Watch them. Watch. Listen, and
They better.
You're out of your mind.
Somebody's going to trade up to take. There is going to. You're almost guaranteed there's going to be at least one team that trades up because they freak out and they take somebody that shouldn't.
You're right though.
I thought Denver. If they never got Russ, I thought Denver was going to do that. They were going to do everything in their power to trade up.
Good.
Swear to God, I really thought they were going to do that. I thought they were going to trade up and try to get Kenny Pickett. Because even though John Elway doesn't work for them anymore, he's still like an advisor or something like that. So it's the same job. It's the same job, just different title. Just different title. So
will the Detroit Lions ever be good ever again?
Not until they change ownership and
I was about to
culture.
say, yeah, you're gonna have to change ownership.
Yeah, and then the
Like-
culture of the team will change with that, hopefully.
Exactly, because now you have a new owner, and if I'm that new owner, maybe it's just me, GM, any assistants. Everyone talks about him getting fired. I'm cutting everybody, and I'm gonna go. All right, let's start from scratch. Literally, start from scratch. I'm
with you.
bulldozing the arena, and I'm
I'm with you.
like I'm getting.
I'm with you, bro.
I'm
I'm
gonna
with you. I'm with you.
redesign,
The new
rebuild,
owner literally cleans the house.
literally.
You have to.
Literally. And then I want a picture, like before they unveil the stadium, I want this big thing covering it, like a curtain or whatever, right? We don't even need it to make sense. That's it. No gravity. That's it. Boom. That's it. We pin it to the sky, right? And the picture is going to be of the old stadium demolished, rubble everywhere. And in the middle of it, you're going to see a little dot, and that's the owner just going like this. Right? Let's go like that. Then it's
I'm
going
with
to fall, and you're going to see a brand new stadium.
Okay.
It's going to be brand new. And he goes, all right, we need players. Who wants to play for us? And anybody who comes, we immediately say, nope. And we literally, no, I lied. We're going to take them and we're trading them for draft picks. We're going to be the youngest team in the history of the NFL. I'm going extreme.
Trade
Right.
everybody off and get 40 picks.
Every single person,
Yes.
every
Yes.
single person. That's what we're going to do, right? By the time I'm done, I will own 90% of the picks. God damn it, I'm drafting Alabama. Everyone, just get on over here. Georgia, get over here, bro. I'm drafting
I love it.
I'm drafting a whole new entire school. And when they finish, I'm going to say, you know what? Matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm drafting Alabama and say, yo, Nick Saban, come on, you with me. I'm basically making Alabama a professional school. That's what I'm going to do. Or Georgia. Or Florida. I don't care. As long as it's not Urban Meyer, I don't care. We're going to make it, and we're just going to go from there. We're going to have the youngest team, and that's what we're
Hey, Pride, everything you're saying is 100% correct. But guess what? You have a different skin color, my brother.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. They won't let me. No, they won't let me.
So that ain't going to happen.
No, they will. You know what minority coaches need to start doing? As soon as we sit down, they I don't want to look at them and go, Brian Flores. And I feel like once you start saying Brian Flores like that, you're gonna get the job. That's it. Be like, if you don't hire me, I'm joining the lawsuit. That's it. Blackmail them. Get it? Black, because blackmail, and then because the color, I try to be funny. I'm not funny though. But nah, man, Detroit winning, dude.
Nope.
You need to purge it in like the deepest, darkest way you can possibly purge something.
Yep.
Like that is a situation where you need to get rid of everything. And again, like if you want Jared Goff to just run on his contract, so be it. That's fine. But like, aside from a couple young guys, I'm getting rid of everybody.
Well, and there's a reason why this franchise hasn't won a playoff game since Barry Sanders was on the roster. It's the culture. It's totally what they've had in great. And prior to that, it had been since 1953. So like they literally went decades to get their draft or their playoff win, and since then they haven't won. Like that was the penultimate moment in Lions history, recent history, is the 1993 or 4 playoff win.
Yep,
that's it.
And that's it. And they don't have nothing. They don't really have much after that, which sucks.
They've had
really
some
does.
appearances, but they haven't been able to win anything.
No, and it's a shame too, because every time they had an appearance, what would happen? Everyone would shrug their shoulders and say, "Who cares?"
And
That's
let's
just
think
how
about
it
who their quarterback on those back-to-back appearances with Jim Caldwell. Who was their quarterback? I do believe that man won the Super Bowl last year.
Yep, Matthew Stafford.
So to say, and then Jared Goff comes to town having been to a Super Bowl, and now look at him. They're wondering, well, what's wrong with Jared Goff? How about what's wrong with Detroit?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
And I don't hate the people that love the Lions. I do not at all. But I'm able to see that because I'm from and maybe Lions fans even agree with that. I don't know.
Yeah. For me, it's gonna take a while before they look at Detroit. It's going to be because, and it really is a shame because again, I'm not a Detroit Lions fan at all, so I think it's easier for me to say this. You had Megatron, and look what you did to him.
I
Megatron.
was going to say that.
You made him retire early. You made Barry Sanders retire early. Two
And
of the greatest football players ever to play retired because of you.
And I say this, and some people agree with me, some people don't. But this is a conversation that people actually genuinely have. If Megatron plays an entire career, he is a top 3 wide receiver all time.
Yeah.
I got no argument there. No argument there. Him, Jerry Rice. I got no argument there.
I'll be honest with you. If he was able to play a full career, I'm taking T.O. off that list of top 3. And I feel like you could make an argument that you could put Megatron in there.
Same thing with Barry Sanders.
Same thing. And again, you had those two, and for some unknown reason, you fumbled it. Like, God bless you. God bless them. How they're able to do that and still have fans who buy tickets. Hats off to you. But
and see, there's a certain point that you allow players to control to a certain point, but once they get to a certain, you have to make that decision as to when you stop giving them so much pull or whatever. And the thing is, Barry Sanders was still producing at an extremely high level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And for them to say, no, we're going the way we want and not the way you want, he just up and quit.
He was a top 3 back in the league.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like still being able to produce. And they kind of just started turning their back. And he was like, all right, cool. I'll do the same thing.
I'll bounce.
Yeah.
And I can remember, as the next season afterwards, there were teams calling the Lions about trading for him. And the Lions wouldn't do it. Lions wouldn't do it.
Yep. But it's a shame. Really is. Really is. Thank God I'm not a fan of that cesspool of a franchise. I am
no joke.
Bro, I'd probably blow my brains out. I'm not even lying.
I have my issues with the Bears, but geez, I don't know what I would do as a Lions
I would rather be a Chicago Bears fan, no debate, over Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be a Cleveland Browns fan.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather be. I would rather be a Cleveland Browns fan with Deshaun Watson as the quarterback after film came out that he did what he did. That's how bad the Detroit Lions are. That's how bad they are.
You're not wrong.
Like
no.
Like they are. It's just horrible.
And that's not taken away from any of the players on the roster. Even
I'm just talking about like in terms of the entire culture. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about from like the office up. Because they're young players and they try. They go out there and they try. They try their butts off and you see it. But it's just the ownership.
But doesn't that what happens from the beginning? Always ownership and management in most cases.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I look at management and like the leadership different. Because it's like the same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. They choke in the playoffs. It's because of the culture. You're not going to win anymore with Jerry Jones because before Jerry Jones was like, I'm looking for talent. Now it's like Jerry Jones is becoming diluted to the point that he thinks every year he has the best roster, yet he still wants to get better. And it doesn't make sense because it's like, hold on, if you're really that head and shoulders above everybody, then you're good with what you got. And then they go to the playoffs, choke, and then Jerry then does this. So it's like, you know what I mean? But hey, God bless.
But Pam, what are you gonna do? He gonna be there, or his son. What are you gonna do?
And the only reason why people don't really knock him that hard was because he's not like Detroit. It's not like they're going there's not like they're going over. So you know what I mean? So he kind of goes, hey, look, you can't do that.
It's still competitive. I hear you.
So, but it's been
If you, I'm sorry, I have one last thing before you wrap this up. Think about Detroit's last season. It's the epitome of like their culture. They lost so many games on last plays. Shoot, the Ravens won their game on the second kick that broke the record, and it bounced on the crossbar and went through.
Yeah.
Then Pittsburgh couldn't even beat them.
Then though, that's where I'm kind of getting to is then they start playing just good enough to screw themselves out of the first pick.
Yep.
And it's just a microcosm of what kind of that culture is. You know, we put just enough on the plate to keep guys hungry, but we don't want to spend. We're just not gonna give you any more.
Right.
I'm with you.
We're gonna break your heart every year.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's just wild. It really is.
And I love my Detroit Lion fan friends. I love them.
Loyal to a fault, brother.
Yep.
Can you relax, brother? Okay.
So that's all. That's all.
Jeez. This has been ASAP in the morning. We'll be back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Sam, Michael, thank you for being here. You too, Ron. Freddie was here for all of 5 minutes. Thank you for being here, Fredward. It is Pride. We'll be back here tomorrow. Till then, y'all know what to do. Be safe.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.